Probably live. So hit that like, hit that subscribe. Come talk some Sixers with us and come talk some Phillies. We're going to talk a little Phillies. Hit the damn like and subscribe. Let's go. Let's go. This ain't the fuck night. Oh, this game he stinks.
Oh shit!
It's gone.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody. This is A2D Wednesday nights, only on A2D Radio. Every Wednesday, we are brought to you by BetUS, and BetUS is the leading online sports book who's been in the market for over 25 years. You can bet anywhere in the U.S. on everything. Use the link pinned right in our comment section over on YouTube and over on Facebook, right in our description. Use the link. You get 125% sign-up bonus. No-brainer. Greg Mwakovic doesn't seem to be with us tonight, probably because the Sixers win. Frank Vespi, Ralph Delvecchio, Ryan Brodo. I'm Tom Arnone. We'll see if Nate Moss joins us. We know Noah Eaton. So little light, almost like the Sixers bench. You know what I mean? We're almost like the Sixers bench tonight. Little light. We have a lot to talk about. Phillies signed Kyle Schwarber. Solid move. Does it move the needle to Broad Street to me? No. It would have if we were able to get Chris Bryant and maybe pay $200 million for 7 years. I don't know. Stupid money. We did not, so we'll see where this roster goes from here, and we'll talk about it later on the show. Obviously, need some more outfield help. Really don't care what anybody says. I think our pitching is almost like, okay, we'll go into it with it. We'll see what we have, right? We looks like we have enough arms, to sort of put a bullpen together, hopefully, and that's a big thing. And can we play defense? So we have a lot of things to talk about when it comes to the Phillies later on the show. Sixers, Cavs, postgame. We'll get into everything we saw tonight. And our main topic at hand is going to be the Sixers' biggest concerns. I think it's probably glaring on what their biggest concern is, right? And that ties into our poll question brought to you by Manscaped. And you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Tons of different products. You talk about the weed whacker you get up in, the lawnmower, you clean yourself up. You clean yourself up, and then you go mix in the ball deodorant at the end, and you smell delicious. It's a no-brainer. Body wash, cologne, boxers, T-shirts. Manscaped's got you covered with so many different products. And get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Our poll question for tonight, even though they beat the Cavs tonight, we should be concerned about the Philadelphia 76ers. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the follow. If you're over on the podcast game, leave a 5-star review. Make sure you're downloading. I'm seeing those downloads going up. They're always going up when I'm getting a little email. Always going up on the download game. So continue what you're doing, fam, and make sure you comment in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And if you got anything Eagles, I know it's the season. We signed one player. Whoop-de-doo. Good signing, but again, are we moving needles? Not necessarily. Like, definitely a good signing, but we need more. So if you got anything Eagles, feel free to chime in. But our poll tonight, should I be concerned about the Sixers? I disagree. I know there's going to be a lot of agrees. People are concerned. People, and rightfully so. Like when you talk about our bench or lack thereof, and where the extra production for this basketball team is coming outside of your starters, right? Where else is it coming from? And that's always going to be a concern. you were top heavy, right? And you wouldn't be the first top heavy team to be able to cut nets down. You wouldn't be. And you had the best player in the NBA. So as long as I have the best player in the NBA, I'm not really concerned. Like, there's going to be series coming up, right? Come playoff time that are a little concerning, right? And I get that, right? Do we have enough firepower off our bench? Well, really, we begged to not play our bench. Let's remember this fan base. We sat here last year and begged to not play our bench. Now we have a better starting five, way more firepower out of four guys than we could really imagine from where we started this season, okay? Way more firepower, and our bench is weakened. It's obvious, right? You watch the games, right? Niang's so important to your bench for bench production. He scored 14 bench points tonight, right? I say, hey, live around 18, and I don't know who beats you. You live around 18, 20, nobody beats you. So, he played, Chick Milton played 3 minutes tonight. Well, you can't get a gauge off of 3 minutes, right? So he really docked tonight, went 8-man rotation. And you got out with a must win tonight. And say, Chris, he agrees. There's gonna be a lot of concerns. But at the end of the day, I am 7-2 with James Harden. I'm 7-2. Those numbers can't lie to me. I have a beatdown and a bad taste in a Game 7 loss in the NBA Finals to the Brooklyn Nets the other night, right? And that taste is still in people's mouths. And I understand it. But that's one game. One game. This team has been in close games, which I think tells you a lot. It can start to tell you a lot about who they are, right? It's easy to go blow out the Magic, right? But you're in a tough one and a dogfight, and you're able to get out with a win. I know it's the Magic, but it's still a point. You have to learn how to win games like that in the fourth quarter and overtime. Tonight, an example of it again. Right? It's the NBA. Everybody's going to make a run. So you give up 19-point lead. That kind of stuff happens. Go win a basketball game now. Go close a basketball game out. And this team was able to again tonight. And guess what? George Niang comes up with a huge three late in the fourth. Right? So, I mean, the bench is a concern, but there's enough there to give you something. You don't need your firepower from them. You scored 118 tonight. 118 on the road. This team has the most wins on the road in the Eastern Conference. Can we start talking about some facts? Can we start talking about some facts instead of being concern-driven this whole time? I got concerns. Of course I do. Right? I mean, I joke around about Harden sometimes. But guess what? He's been so unselfish here. You can't run from that. You can't run from the dimes. You can't run from getting other people involved, from being a smart IQ basketball player, from what we've seen. And we're 7-2 with them. Holy crap, concerns. Relax. I'm Aaron Rodgers right now. Relax. Everybody relax. We got plenty of basketball left. What, 14 games left? Something like that.
I think so.
14-ish, yeah. Right? So we got enough basketball left to try to get some more chemistry. It's about gaining chemistry. Right? Tonight I saw a team really play great defense late in the fourth quarter. Really get pumping. Tobias Harris has been great defensively. So instead of us worrying about Joe Schmo off the pine, let's talk about what we do have. And I'll leave you with this. What we do have is the best player in the NBA. What we do have is Tobias Harris, who plays on both ends of the court and is starting to show consistency, which is so important to this basketball team. What we do have is Tyrese Maxey. And there's going to be nights where Maxey doesn't get a feel. But the nights where he's getting feels is only going to make him better, like tonight, where he was tremendous. And James Harden, right? The unicorn that we needed. The thing we were missing. So all you people running back about Seth Curry and Andre Drummond, shut up. It's never going to be the firepower and the ability of what this gives you. All right? This changes the whole dynamic. You can't double anybody. Joel gets open looks. And the dominance of Joel Embiid, if you're concerned, buy a damn dog then. Because every team in the league has concerns of some sort. Some sort. Every team does. The team you're all worried about has the biggest concern of all. Can arguably their best player play at home? Holy shit. Don't tell me about the Nets until that's confirmed. The Nets are off the table to me being worried. Like, Kyrie can't play in 3 games guaranteed. All right, so as of right now, they're not a favorite. They're a favorite if he can. And they're scary. And teams never, Chris, and that's my last statement. Teams in the playoffs don't go deep. And we begged Doc Rivers to not go deep like he did in years past. Last year, right? We beg him, and even his Clippers days, right? To not go that deep. So if now he's forced to, right? His hands just got tied on deepness. Isn't that what we wanted? You're going to win or lose series based on those 4 guys. Just to make it clear to people. That's how you're going to win and lose series. Can them 4 guys score? Right, we're doing it without Harden going off for 30. You don't think a couple of those are coming? I'll tell you, you're surprised. He hasn't even shot the ball well, and he still has a huge impact on games. Damn, concern me. Go away, concerns. I was concerned we had a piece of shit not even sitting on the bench, on this roster. And where was the firepower coming from? Seth Curry and Andre Drummond? I like them, right? If I could have kept them both, good. I wasn't trying to trade them. I said I would have loved to keep them, right, in some way. But grow up. We got what we wanted. And now we're like, oh, it's a second-round exit. I see people all the time. Second-round exit. Playoff time, it all slows down, too. So who around has more dominance from one player than us? You can make cases for 2 guys in this conference. KD, all right, and Giannis. Ain't nobody else can do what he does. So are those games going to be dogfights? Of course. But I feel like I got the best player in the NBA. And as long as I do, there ain't a concern in the world. There ain't a concern in the world. There is. There's factual concerns, right? But there's not a concern. I'm top heavy. Let's go eat. There's my rant on it. Everybody else in the chat or wherever, you go buy yourself a dog and be scared of everybody. Holy shit, 35-17 tonight, and we're running around scared. We're running around scared.
On his birthday, too.
On his birthday. Guy willed a team to victory, and we're over here scared.
With a
Cavs
bad
are
back.
a good basketball team.
Yeah.
Damn it. Come on, people. Have a little faith. Like people in the groups and everything, right? Frank, Ralphie, they're jumping off the bridge, the wagons, everything they can jump off of, and I'm laughing. I'm laughing. Like it's game what, 60 something in an NBA season, and y'all are jumping and they're 7-2 together? Grow up.
Tom, I saw a "Let's Go Phillies" chant in one of the groups after the third quarter. I saw a "Let's Go Phillies" chant. Which I'm all for if we got Chris Bryant. You know what I'm saying? But like time and place, ladies and gentlemen. Time and friggin' place. I was so ready to agree with this poll. I was so ready. Especially after that third quarter, beginning of the fourth. My hand was on the button. It was on the panic button. It was ready. We talked about this Thursday. We talked about it Monday. We promised the people if they went on a streak of a couple losses, some disappointing performances, maybe another blowout. Yeah, the concern button, it'll become apparent. Maybe some of us will press it. We won the freaking game, ladies and gentlemen. Like, not everything's going to be, peaches and cream. And I understand. Tom, you and I talked about this on the phone, a couple hours ago. Completely understand that Nets game really messed with people's heads. We get it. We all watched it. We all reacted to it. We were on the air for 3 hours afterwards. It was like a Super Bowl. It was a game 7. That's like we geared up, ready to go, and it ended up being, 2012, 2013 Super Bowl, Broncos, Seahawks, where the game was over in 5 seconds. It was like we don't know what to do with our hands. It's like we were shell-shocked, and we're still reaping the effects of it in our heads. And I said to Tom, and we debated on it, like, I think the Magic game, if that would have been more comfortable, I think it would have kind of alleviated some of the stress, but it wasn't. Listen, it was an ugly game that almost went to double overtime, but Tom, to your point from earlier, they won the game. And then it was a prototypical loss against Denver.
Sorry, you gained something from that, from Tobias hitting a big shot and
Yeah.
being in those situations. You only gain confidence by that.
Yeah, and we talked about it on Monday before we even saw the Nuggets game. What you gained in that Magic game, listen, I understand if you're a championship contender on paper, you shouldn't go into a dog fight with the Magic, but it's not the NFL, it's the NBA. You're going to have games where you cough up and just lay an egg, okay? But to your point, and we've talked about this before, it was the first time where they've been in a tough, gritty, nail-biting game when Joel and Harden really didn't, they didn't have anything. Tyrese didn't have anything. They had to rely on Tobias, which, before, that game, since Harden had arrived, Tobias really hadn't been much. And I look at his performance since that game. I get it. Like, there's concerns. This bench, I think the four of us could be on the bench and we could do some things that we're not seeing. Okay. And that's not a credit to us. We're not NBA basketball players. But I think what's getting lost in this is that our biggest concern last week, it's so funny how we work not only in Philadelphia, but just as a basketball team in sports, to where it's like our concerns flip. Like last week we were ranting and raving about, oh my God, Tobias Harris, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to play basketball. Now it's the bench, and it's always been the bench, and it's justified. But Tobias Harris, these last 3-4 games, he's really gotten comfortable. And they've leaned on him.
That shot takes you into that direction. Like the shot in Orlando. Like, it's easy to go in and beat him by 30, right? What do you gain from that? Mm-hmm. Like, okay, yeah, I mean, we all feel good as fans. Like, look at us, right? We're so lethal. And then there's other people say, okay, you beat the Magic. So either way, it's a no-win. It's a no-win situation. So you might as well be in a dogfight and find a way to win. And like, Brink said something about, like, is there any elite safe? It's the NBA. Is there elite safe in the NBA?
There's no such thing.
There's no such thing. It's a league of runs. So can you withstand teams' runs? In the Orlando game, we got outplayed in the first half. We dominated in the second half of that basketball game. So nobody talks about that. That guy, you should, right? And then the Nuggets, listen, that's a game I feel like we should win. We should win. We're right in that game. So I'm not gonna poo-poo it. Like, we lost to a good basketball team. All right, Bones still is making shots. Okay, and now you fast forward to this game tonight, and they went out there and they were in another dog fight because it turned into one, and they got out with a win. And at the end of the day, that's all you take from it. And you take from, okay, they played really good in the fourth quarter. Like, they played really good basketball in the fourth quarter, and I think there's something to be said about that. I mean, I don't know what everybody wants. You're 7-2 since the arrival, per se, playing together. And if you watch the game with eyeballs, you say, "Oh wow, man, these guys, this is trouble. Like, this is just trouble for people." And it's not just Harden and Embiid; it's what Harden and Embiid together open up for Maxey, for Tobias, for fucking Matisse. He can't even shoot, and, like, you know what I mean. And the guy will walk into 9 some nights because Harden gets him involved. Like, it opens up the world. But we're going to sit here and oh my God, we, like, Danny Green can't run like he got to stick up his ass. We know we know what Danny is.
Yeah. And I just think another thing too with this team is that, like, people thought, like, when you guys traded for Harden, that you guys were going to walk through everybody and we're going to be undefeated for the next 20 games and you're going to cakewalk to the finals and everything like that. But, like, you had to know, as, like, a person, getting rid of Seth Curry and Andre Drummond, two, good pieces that you guys have, that your bench was going to take a little of a hit, right? Because you had, a guy in Seth Curry that was giving you at least 14 to 15 a game, and then Andre Drummond that was giving you almost 20 rebounds a game off of your bench, and you're trading both of them. That's a big hit to your bench, or even to your starting five. Mm-hmm. But to the poll, I disagree. Like you said, Tommy, 7-2 in the last 9 games with Harden. And I think last week when we said the 6 games that we went through, I had them at 4-2, and I had the Nuggets as a loss, and I had the Raptors as a loss when we were going over for it last week. And everybody, you think, was 4-2 or 5-1, and everybody was cool, calm, and collective. It's just that I think, like you said, Tommy, that Nets game just really is sticking with people really, really bad. And I think until the playoffs come, and when you guys see the Nets again in the playoffs, and whatever happens there, it's going to shy away.
I kind of want things to get a little uncomfortable before the playoffs. Nothing drastic, no tragedies, no devastation or anything, but I want this team to learn to fight through the filth. Fight out of the mud, per se. You know what I'm saying? Because unfortunately, aside from, the Embiid late season injury and, the COVID stuff early in the season last year, you really didn't see too much, too many situations. It was kind of, we just coasted at the number 1 seed, and then once it got bad, it got really bad, and that was the second round of the playoffs. I want them to be able to find their way through things when things aren't going well. And that starts with the starting roster. That starts with James Harden, and that finishes with the bench. Now, this goes to everybody. Like, nobody's betting on 1 or hell 2 or 3 of these guys on the bench to really find a resurgence. That's not Niang, but like Tom, you've been saying, it's not like we're asking for 25 points a night for them. We don't even ask them to be good. We ask, hey, can you not be embarrassing? Like, can you know how to play basketball for 5 minutes?
Yeah, like DeAndre Jordan. Can you come in? Can you get a bucket or two? Get a couple rebounds, maybe a block, and you did your job. Danny, can you come in and maybe hit 2 threes? Right, you did your job. Right, and nobody else has played more minutes because they sort of like split Isaiah and Shake up. So just giving somebody 7 or 8 minutes, so you can't even get a feel. But if one of those guys runs like 8 minutes, can you get a bucket or two? Like, you don't need a lot. Can I get 18 from the bench? I probably don't lose. Tonight, I think the most important thing is the Cavs can run, and they only had 13 fast break points. So something that's been glaring and has been a concern is what they've given up on the fast break. And it looks like tonight, they've sort of locked in on the fact that that's unacceptable. Like, when we talk about second and third efforts, that can't happen. And so the fact that you give up to a good Cavs team that likes to run a little bit, you give up only 13 fast break points, I think that's a good start in the right.
I meant to tell you this when we talked the other day, Tom, after the Nuggets game. If there was a line on like over under transition points that we gave up, I would have screamed the under, because not only did they recognize it tonight in today's post game, Maxey talked about it, Doc, Tobias, I think Hard mentioned it, but all of them recognized it, and they mentioned it numerous times about how bad they are in transition defense after that Nuggets game on Monday. So I'm sure it was made a point to them, like, listen, and we're not saying it's all fixed. I'm sure that you're going to go back and you're going to have lulls, especially in back-to-backs. I think you have 2 in the next 7 days. But at least they're at the point where they recognize it. It would be one thing if they recognized it and it was still bad. It's never good to say, okay, I would rather it just to be an effort problem, because this should never be an effort problem, especially when you're a professional. But at least when they're focused on doing better, they can solve some of those issues. It's not a talent issue. It's just an effort issue. So it's like when they are fixated, and maybe I don't like chalking everything up to, oh, it's late March, they're gearing up for the playoffs, because I think that's excuses, and I think that's lazy. But it's good that when they recognize an issue, they can kind of solve it, to your point.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. I mean, listen, I don't know what everybody's complaining about. And then go ahead, Frank. But you got Joel almost averaging 30. James is that piece you needed. That's essentially giving you 23 and over 10 a night, right? And then he's giving you 7 boards. I mean, it was so important to get that in. So I know you lose Andre and Seth, all right, but Niang, it has been important. Like, his ability to come off the bench and hit some threes for us has been big. And then the real question mark is like, okay, who are you going to play? You're going to play Millsap, or are you going to play DeAndre Jordan? It seems like they've been running with Jordan. Like, can these guys just bring you something? Just bring you enough. I mean, you're top heavy, where Tobias is averaging 17, right? Or almost 18 a night. Sorry. Maxey's averaging over 17 a night. Like, where does everybody think the rest of the scoring is coming from when you have 4 guys who are taking the majority of the shots? Like, right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand what people want. You want a bench of 9 guys? Whoop-de-doo. So then if you do have that, you don't have the stars we have. Like, you don't have 2 stars, unless you're like the Nets, who have 2 stars, right? Essentially. And then they're a little bit deeper per se. Maybe, but those guys have off nights too. Let's not act like those guys are perfect. Every team has benches that have off nights and on nights. So can this bench figure out what their identity is going to be, right? And who is going to be in that rotation? And I'll say it one last time, and I'm not clamoring for the guy. But if you need some buckets off your bench, man, then just see if Furkan can make a bucket or 2. Like, at least he's played in postseason basketball. Like, down these last 14 games, maybe give him a run or 2, because that's how dire it is, right? For something. He's a guy who can give you double digits. Maybe. This year, not so much. But in the past, he's been at least a guy who can get hot for a week or 2, and then he'll cool. But, like, can you find those guys that get hot for a week or 2, right? Mm-hmm. If it's Shake, if it's Furkan, Niang, right? Danny, can you hit a couple? And then what is DeAndre Jordan, right? I said to you the other night, right? Maybe get Paul Millsap some minutes, because he could probably give you 6, like he was doing in that little bit of time he was playing before. So what do you want to do? And it seems like Doc wants to go like 9-man rotation, really 10 guys play, but they split minutes. So it's really only an 8-man rotation.
Yeah, which I'm fine with because he was leaning on like an 11, 12-man rotation last year, which we know what that did. Like they trusted too much into their bench. How many times did we hear last year, oh, this is the most young, exciting, hardworking bench I've ever seen in my coaching career? Number one, Doc, we knew at the time that's a lie. Number two, that's wrong. And three, we know how that resulted. Second round exit because you were relying on them too much. So, listen, the last thing I'll say before you go, Frank, that's a perfect way to go into it. With the DeAndre Jordan thing, and I'm not necessarily worried about it, but like we always talk about, like instant energy, just trying different guys. He misses another one or two of these wide open dunks. I'm going to start calling for Frank's boy. I'm going to get him on the plane from Delaware.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just call for I'll just call for Paul Reed or
out the mud,
or Millsap just to give you some energy. So I don't know.
I don't know if Millsap can reach the rim anymore. That's my only concern.
Probably can't. I mean, listen, this team's top heavy. We don't want them to go deep to the bench anyway because you're going to win with your stars. So here we are. Go ahead, Frank.
I mean, to the poll, I mean, I'm not going to be one of those fans that is overly concerned that to the point we're going to be jumping off the wall or the Ben Franklin. I mean, there's concerns for every single team going into the playoffs. So I agree to an extent, not a full blown like, oh, we got to hit the panic button, but you know, I'm kind of glad we're seeing some of these concerns right now, especially with the blow. Oh, hello, Greg. Especially with those blown leads, you know, the lack of a transition defense. I mean, and this team is still gelling together with James Harden. Yeah, we're 7-2, but this team is still gelling. You know, we don't have Andre Drummond. How are we, you know, adjusting to that? It's just making those adjustments and gelling. You know, is it a over the top concern? Absolutely not. But I mean, there's concerns all around the league. So I agree just to a slight extent, but I do agree with everybody's point on why they disagree as well. And yes, Habib, I do want my son Charles Bassey to play for more than 10 minutes. But not just yet. He's having fun in Delaware, so that's all good.
Yeah, I just want people to know something. A lot of people out there have been like Isaiah Joeing in the chat, and I get it, right? I get it. If Isaiah Joe is playing like 12 to 15 minutes in the playoffs, you're probably either up big or down big. I mean, let's be real.
or you might be down 3-0 in the series and hoping for a spark.
Yeah, come on, this is not the way the NBA is set up. You need to be 8-9. Can you go 8-9 to give guys blows? And if you can and get enough production, this team is a tough out. That's the point.
Like you said, Tommy, I don't need Danny Green to come off the bench and give me 22 every night. I mean, a solid 6 would be nice.
Yeah,
you know, a solid 6 or 8 would be cool.
I mean, it would be nice if he did 22 every night. I would love to see all our bench guys do 22 every night. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you know, the bench is still, you know, finding its role, as you said, Tom. They're trying to figure out their identity. You know, I'm glad we're seeing this now and not in the middle of an important series in the playoffs.
Yeah, like Danny Frank, you know, he played 21 minutes. So, yeah, you would love a guy to be instant offense, Jamal Crawford. Come in and get up shots. But how many, you know, who else did he play with in those minutes, right? Like, he's probably playing with 2 other guys that are really commanding shots in those times, obviously. So he still put up 5 shots, and he was 2 for 5 from 3. I live with that. I say that's all I'm asking for, right? That's all I'm asking for. Niang actually was the reason, you know, he was your struggle off the bench tonight, but he had a big 3 for this basketball team. Okay. And then DeAndre Jordan only took 2 shots. He had 5 rebounds in 13 minutes, 4 points, and he had a block. Like, okay. And then Shake, like I said, Shake earlier, and Isaiah Joe, 1.3, 1.4. So that it can't even matter. So it's really an 8-man rotation, and the other guys just gave blows. All right. It is, take your warm-ups off. We give you guys it's senior night. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, like that's what they're doing there. So we all clamored to shorten the bench before Greg goes. We did it. We're doing it. We're top heavy. We're actually a big time fucking problem if you're watching the games. Like, yeah, we ain't stubbed our toes. Sure, right? It's basketball. But we've also looked really good at times. And you're the best player in the league in the fucking planet.
I want to ask you guys real quick because I'll forget. On the broadcast towards the end, did you see the shot that they had of Danny Green? Did you catch it at the corner? The amount of friggin' ice bags this guy had on he's laying on the ground getting stretched out. If he had less than 10 ice bags on both his knees, I would be shocked. I'm like, dude, what the the guy's falling apart. I don't know how he does it anymore.
No, he is. He is, and that's why I was joking. Like, I mean, you might, down the stretch here, you might have to go to a fur can and a shake and let them guys like just play a couple extended minutes and see if both of them can sort of figure it out, because they were guys coming into the year though, right? Guys that we were like, oh man, these got to be two players that can give us something off the bench, and neither has, and we didn't expect like not to have to give me anything, like you know what I mean, like they give me nothing.
And Wes, I've seen this a ton. Nobody got bought out. You can't buy out somebody that isn't there. There were 3 guys that got bought out. Javon Carter, I don't even know if he was a buyout, actually. He might have just been cut. Goran Dragic. Say it again?
He got waived.
Yeah, so nobody got bought out. So we can't make up all like, oh, I want this guard. Nobody existed.
Yeah,
nobody got moved.
Dragic ain't different than me winning a ring or not.
No.
You know what I mean?
So
not
we can take shots at
And to
Darryl all
be
we
fair,
want.
too,
But
is Dragic had his mindset on either Dallas or Brooklyn, no matter what, to be completely honest.
yeah, because Kyrie's not going to play in half of them, and because he knows Steve Nash.
And listen, Harden played 42 minutes tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So he logged a lot of ice time per se, right? So I mean, they're logging those guys' minutes, what I think is only going to help them come playoff time, right? We talk about in years past, we were on minute restrictions, we were on sit down restrictions for everybody, right? For everybody. How did that age come dogfight time? Not well, because now I got to play a guy 38 minutes because it's playoff time. Now I got to play a guy 38 minutes. His body ain't ready for 38 minutes. So what happens with that? What happens is a lack of focus, turnovers, bad shots, right? Almost seeing double, right? You know what I mean? Everybody's been tired before, right? So you understand what comes with that. So now that you're stretching these guys out late in the season and you're starting to stretch these guys, I think it's actually smart because you're leading them into the first time in Joel Embiid's career going into the postseason that he's logged the most minutes he's done in the season. That's not going to hurt him come the postseason now. It's actually going to help him. It's going to help his growth. And Maxey too. Maxey played 38 tonight. The bias I feel like can play all game. He's one of those guys. He played 39. And like I said, Joel played 35, right? And Harden played 42. And Harden's a guy who needs to get stretched out to play in the 40s too at times come the postseason. Because you need him. You need him. Because he makes everybody better. Right now, he's become the guy that doesn't need to score 30. He just makes everybody on the court better. That's exactly what's happened here. And he's had some times where I'm like, there he is. But for the majority of the time, he's been, to me, extremely unselfish, right? Basketball IQ off the charts, and it's gotten a lot of guys a lot of good goddamn looks. And if you're watching the game, it'll tell you that. Has there been moments? Sure, because he's not hitting his shots right now. He's not hitting his shots. So
he's feeling it out. He's feeling out like, do I get somebody involved or do I take he's very indecisive right now, but that's going to come. He's trying to still find his role.
Hey, I'll take 21-11 every night. You know what I mean? You give me 21-11, I'm in a lot of basketball games.
Facilitating. He made a ton of in that second quarter. Some of those passes. I mean, again, certain guys just can't make those passes that he was doing, and he was feeding Tobias Harris throughout the entire first half, which really got him going.
And right, we always talk about this, and Greg, then please go because I know I know where your head's at. But before I'll lead into you.
I don't even know what the poll question is, but I'm sure it's gonna be good.
Yeah. I'll get to it.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Most road wins in Eastern Conference. So everybody can sit back and be concerned. That's a stat that don't lie. So that's a sign of toughness. That's what that is.
It's the complete opposite of what we've seen the last 3 years.
Yep. So that equals a good postseason team. That's what that equals to me.
Maturity too. Maturity. That's what it's.
Yeah, by your best player.
Yeah.
Brian, we've never witnessed this.
Nope.
So to concerned people out there, get a clue. Everybody's concerned, but we're witnessing greatness, and we're sitting here worried. Go pay your kitten with Ben. Go ahead, Greg. To the poll question, I'll bring it up for you. All right. Even though they beat the Cavs tonight, we should be concerned about the Philadelphia 76ers. Do you agree or disagree?
Are there areas of concern? Yes. Right? There are certain areas of concern. Do I think we have to be concerned with the whole product? No, because as you just alluded to, right, they've found ways to win games for the most part, and especially on the road, right? Regardless of how good or ugly, you know, when you look at like Sunday's game, for example, that was an ugly win. But that last part is the biggest part of that. It was a win.
Yep.
Right. You go lose that game, then I think there's a lot more concerns. Right. And then the being concerned about the whole team then becomes more relevant. Right. And resonates more. But because they're still able to find ways to win, especially road games, and just win games overall. I mean, when you have the record you have, it's not like you're having a bad year. But are there areas of concern? Absolutely, right? I heard you guys, as I was coming in, I heard you guys talking bench, right? I think Doc still stubs his toe and gets in his way a lot of times, right? So are there pure concerns? Like individually, sure, but as an overall team, no. I mean, this is the Sixers of who they're going to be, and the only thing it's going to do is it's going to benefit them, or you hope it's going to benefit them the more they play together, right? I mean, regardless of my thoughts on the trade, you made a huge trade. You're implementing a huge piece into your lineup, and that's just going to take time to fully gel. So there's going to be times where you're going to look lethargic and look lost out there as a whole group. But that's ultimately just to get you to the playoffs where hopefully, you're good to go and there. So no, I disagree as a whole. But like if that would have said you're concerned about the Philly bench or Doc Rivers, then my answer might be different.
Yep.
But as a whole and as a group, I'm not concerned.
This is common sense, and I appreciate you. You know what I mean? I appreciate you for not triggering me. Yeah. I appreciate you for having common sense here, because they're not 2-7 with James Harden. So the feel out's been 7-2. So that's like, as much as I know what the Nets fucking somebody, you know what I mean, and got me in the back. Like, where'd you come from? Right. So I understand what that game was, but that's over. It's over. The Nuggets, the game. I feel like I have to have that. Right. I have to have it. I have to have it back to back, though. I can understand it. They're a good basketball team. And like we talked about earlier, Bones Malone is still burying shots. So that all sometimes just happens. Right.
Ooh, 3 for 60 for Godwin. Wow.
But then you come back and you get a must win on the road tonight. All right. You have a 17-point lead. It's the NBA. Everybody's going to make some runs. Right. You're able to withstand it. You're able to actually cough up the lead and then go get it back. And the final, we talk about the final 8 minutes when you can turn a basketball game on and really find out what happened, right? When I got home from work and was able to turn this game on, right? I found out some more things. I just found out some more things. I find out that they're unselfish when they move the basketball like they have in their wins, They're going to be a tough team for people to beat. And you can say that about a lot of teams in the NBA. I get it.
Yep.
But we're worried about like, if you're worried about 6, 7, and 8 off your bench, okay, that means you don't have star power. That's what that equals. So you don't have the best player in the league, right? I mean, Denver's the only team that has a bench, but come on, they don't have 60 wins, right? Yeah. You guys understand what I'm saying? Like, everybody's bunched up here. So who's the clear cut can't be beat? Who? Golden State? Stop it. They're good, but they got to deal with Joe. Like, so in terms of our looks at people, right now, you go stay in the East. Who can't be beat? All these
teams, everyone can be beat. You're absolutely right.
Everybody's perfect. I mean, the Nets can't be beat; they lose tonight. So everybody crown the Nets. Run the whatever street you're gonna have a parade on in New York, in Brooklyn. Okay, come on. Kyrie ain't going for 60 every night. Durant ain't going for 50 every night. They're special, but this is the NBA, man. It's gonna come down to some toughness and then your best players. What kind of series do those guys have? So everybody loves the Celtics. The Celtics don't have any problems.
Well, they got big problems.
They're ready to blow up the team 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Milwaukee's your most well put together basketball team in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
They're well put together. I know Miami is deep, but Miami has no stars.
And even Milwaukee's got issues too, because all you really do is just make Giannis shoot. You stop him from driving to the basketball, he becomes an average basketball player.
There's no such thing as a complete team, but the closest thing to that is Milwaukee and Phoenix. Other than that, it's up for grabs, honestly.
Yeah, Phoenix has their issues of Chris Paul being healthy or not. Yep. So I mean, that's another one.
Yeah, right? And he's hurt again with the thumb. Yeah,
and the Nets, we already talked about that. Can arguably your best player play at home? We had 3 games. That's 3 games. That's
question.
not as good as you are. So everybody's got something. If you really look at it, compared to other teams' concerns, I'll take ours.
That's why I said this to you earlier, Tom. Like everyone, on Sixers Twitter after these couple of losses saying, "Oh my God, we're not going to get the 1 or 2 seed." And I know you don't. I know, Tom, when you and I talk, you don't necessarily care who we play. And I'm different on that, but whatever. Like I look at it where, say for example, we end up as a 3 seed. Well, we're not facing Milwaukee, the Heat, or the Nets. So it's like, okay, let those 3 teams beat each other up. Right? Because if it was, and again, this is all based off of if Kyrie plays. If it was Miami, Nets, I don't know who wins the 7-game series. I don't know. If they're all fully constructed, I don't know. I think that's a toss-up. If you're a 3 seed, if you're the Sixers, you're facing either the Celtics, the Heat, the Celtics, the Cavs, or the Bulls. I'd much rather go there. I'd much rather play them. So it's like, okay, let those other teams kind of just figure it out. Because to your point, Tom, none of them are complete at all. They're all fighting some things, whether guys are allowed to play or guys are even healthy. Depends on who you are.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has almost the same amount of wins. So, I mean, it's like a jumble, right? I mean, you talk about the Sixers are 3 games back from Miami. So, Milwaukee's 2.5 back. Chicago's 4 back. Boston's 4.5 back. Cleveland 6.5 back. Toronto 7. Brooklyn 10. Everybody's right there. So you can't even jostle for playoff positioning or worry about that right now because you don't know where people are going to finish. I mean, Brooklyn could finish in the 6th seed. We don't know. So, they're only 3 games back. It's not like they're 2.5. Or no, they're 3.5. Sorry, they're 3.5 back from the 6th. They're not that far from Cleveland. You know what I mean? From Cleveland.
Well, they can go on a little run here.
Yeah, nothing's like known and set in stone. So win basketball games. Worry about seeding later.
Robert asked us earlier, he was saying he's thinking about going to the game on Friday. Do we think Embiid is going to play? He's worried about getting tickets.
I'm not going to put that.
It's not a back-to-back. He should play.
No. That's what I was going to say. Like, it's against the Mavericks. I would think he would probably sit out against the Raptors on Sunday. But I definitely think he's going to sit out one of these next 3, whether it's Friday or one of the 2 back-to-backs, Sunday or Monday.
I mean, is that game going to be a nationally televised game? Do we know, or
which one
against the Mavs?
I would imagine so. Friday night. I would imagine it's a Friday ESPN.
Yeah, I think it is.
All right, to the Google machine.
I think Toronto's maybe a matinee on Sunday. No, I'm wrong. It's 8:30. 8:30 on Sunday.
Nothing yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't think he's sitting on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, if he's healthy, play. You know what I mean? Like, I understand the question because, Robert, we've dealt with that for a lot of years.
Yeah.
But, hell, I mean, the guy's as healthy as he's ever been. There's really should be no reason to be sitting.
Yeah, if it's not a back-to-back, he should play.
If you played Orlando and then Denver, I don't see why he's sitting after days off, right? He should be playing. But that's the patheticness of today's NBA, where we sit here and wonder if star players are even going to play, like, off of days off.
And we know how they think too, because right after that back-to-back, they go on a 4-game, 5-game West Coast trip.
West Coast trip, yeah.
Yeah, so I can see them, get him some rest before he has to get on a plane. He's never been on a plane before like this.
They have no they don't have like
the seats aren't very wide on those planes, you know what I mean? Like his knees are gonna be cramped up in his chest.
Those private planes, he's got he's got to fly commercial.
No leg room. Yeah. Can't even take a shit.
Things wider than friggin' business class. Oh my God, he's probably got a bed in there. He's probably got his own separate room, that guy.
You got 4 games left. I mean, I don't know how much resting you're doing. You do it at the end. You know what I mean? You look the rest at the end. Right.
Yeah, I think if they were gonna rest them, I think it would be towards the end, like you said, Tommy. We had like that seed locked up, and there's no movement. You know what I mean?
And I also heard rumors.
Sit them for like the last game of the season, and then you go into the playoffs.
And I also heard the rumors where they are going to start resting Embiid and Harden like with the last couple games of the season, just so that they're fully healthy come playoff time.
That's not even to your point, Frank. That's not even rumors. Doc Rivers said it on Monday. He says we have planned rest days for James Harden and Embiid because of the next 10 days. We have 2 back-to-back streaks. I don't want him sitting.
I mean, I don't want him sitting either. But I mean,
it's the Sixers we're talking about.
Yeah, it is the Sixers.
In our head.
And, you know with the concerns with the Embiid, if he falls on the ground. It's like, everybody's on panic mode. Or James Harden, hurt, is sitting on the bench with ice packs all over his calf and hammies. Like, I think if timed right, it'll work.
Johnny B. Good says the bottom 5 bench units in the NBA are the Raptors, Bulls, Bucks, Sixers, Celtics in that order. That's interesting. Best bench unit in the NBA is the Heat, averaging 40 points a game. Yeah, I think it's interesting though. You've got,
and that's one of the reasons why they're the number 1 seed right now.
And that's usually
they're pretty damn good.
And that's usually that's what Pat Riley and Spoelstra do. They have deep teams, and also they coach up guys like friggin' Max Strus and who's the guy who looks like Michael Jordan against us all the time? Gabe Vincent. Omir Ertz-7.
Kind of going back to what Tommy said earlier. It's because that team doesn't have any stars, right? So where they need to be deep, right? They need to be able to spread that out because they don't have any, ball dominant. They don't have any like superstars that are going to demand big, huge minutes and the ball all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
And the stars that they do have, Larry, Butler, again, stars, but not superstars, they miss a ton of games. Like, I feel like Larry misses more games than plays.
Yeah, I would say like they're really good players. They again, not even star caliber.
Top 20. Butler's probably top 25. Larry, I don't know what he is. Maybe top 30, top 35.
I don't even know what he is anymore because he doesn't play. He's old. He's old. So I mean, they don't. That doesn't usually like translate always in the playoffs either. Like it did in the bubble for him, sure, but I don't see that necessarily translating for them. You're relying on like bench guys to like win you games. I mean, good for you. Like maybe it works again, but
B brings up a great point. He says that's also bringing into the fact that Hero's the 6th man of the year, bar none. So their average is going to go up because that's basically a starter playing 6-man. He's averaging like 25 points or something ridiculous.
Yeah, it's all about minutes. You know what I mean? It's all about minutes. Like Jordan Clarkson and Lou Williams and those types of guys. It's all about minutes. So like they might come off and be your 6-man first guy in, but they're playing starter minutes. Mm-hmm. So it's like another starter. We don't do that. You know what I mean? We're playing our starters. So I don't know. Listen, this is why you play the games. It's fun to talk about and everything, but like this is why you play it. And this is why it's important for these guys to play as many games as they can together. Right. And you played 9 games together. That's a good start, right? But the more chemistry you can put together with the starting 5, the better they're going to be. Right. I think that's just common sense. So yeah, they might both get a rest day here, towards the and then maybe at the end of the year they get another one. But that's all they're probably getting. They're not like sitting 3 or 4 more games out of 14. That's not happening.
Joseph said Sixers' biggest concern is that the offense looks better with Maxey running point, but Harden needs the ball in his hand. Other biggest concern is the scoring and our bench's offer.
Well, how's that a concern? I mean, I want to know the guy who can penetrate, a guy who's nasty in the pick and roll, guy who's dropping double-digit assists, a guy who goes to the line a ton. Why is that a problem of him running point at times and then Maxey running point at times too? Why is that a problem? Like, I don't understand. That's why you went out and got the guy. I mean, what's the problem? He can run a pick and roll with your big man. He can run a pick and roll with Maxey. He can run a pick and roll with anybody in the freaking country. The guy's a pick and roll. He'll cut you up. That's what he does. He cuts you up in the pick and roll. That's what James Harden does. He will cut you up in a pick and roll. That's why I'm like, every time he has the ball, somebody comes screen because they cut you up. Mm-hmm. Him and Embiid cut you up. So does Maxey and Embiid cut you up as much as them two do? No, because he doesn't command that yet. You understand what James Harden commands? They pick and roll and people double Harden. Yep. Like, are you guys watching this? They double Harden. So now Embiid's open. Like, come on, people. Nobody's doubling Tyrese Maxey. I love him. He's like my son. Nobody's doubling him right now.
Yeah, that pick and roll is such a lose-lose situation for teams because it's like if you let Harden go, it's an easy basket. He probably goes to the line, and then if you let Embiid get open from 3, he could just fake it and just drive the lane or hit the 15-footer on you. The pick and roll between them is it's a work in progress, but so far it's been nice for them. It's been very, very nice.
Robert says, I just personally want Harden to score more. Who thought we'd be saying that, huh? He can do it if he wants to. Need him to score since we have no bench.
Yeah, but does Harden does he have to score? Like, does he have to put up 30 points a game now? No. When you have the best player in basketball, he doesn't have to score the basket that much anymore.
I need him to average at least 22 a night. 22 a night.
And that's what he was doing in Brooklyn.
Listen,
He was averaging 22.
he's getting the ball in Joel's hands. He's being an unselfish basketball player, which is what we wanted to see, right? People wanted to see that. People needed to see that. Are people seeing that now? Like, you know what I mean? Are people seeing it? He's getting the ball in his hands.
Yeah,
So one, it tells me a couple of things. It tells me James Harden wants to win, right? James Harden knows whose basketball team it is, and James Harden has a smart basketball IQ because the big man's going to get easier shots, and nobody can stop him. So he's playing through the big man. All right,
Yeah, he's gonna get him easier shots too.
Exactly. But he's not taking the egregious amount of shots that people want him to take. That's what I don't understand. Like then people would call him selfish. He was taking too many shots. Like it's almost like he's in a lose-lose here. Like, come on, guys. He had 12 attempts tonight. Tobias has more attempts than James Harden.
Mm-hmm. He's come in this short sample size with an agenda. Everyone said, "Oh, he's going to have an agenda to score and shoot up 35 points, 35 shots a game." He came in with an agenda to get these three guys involved, really everybody involved, but Embiid the ball more, Niang the ball more, Maxey the ball more. And now you've seen the last 3 games, Tobias Harris the ball more. So everyone can obsess with, and listen, I get it. When Tobias and Maxey aren't clicking in on we always say this, on the nights where Embiid's struggling, even though those struggles are like 28, 12, and 5, Harden needs to be more aggressive. I get it. You need to start making some of those shots. I completely understand it. But it's not like he's not doing anything else. If he was averaging, 10 shots a game with 2 assists, then yeah, he's not giving us any value. He's rebounding the ball for us. He's getting other people involved. And when he needs to, he does turn that on. He did it in the third and fourth quarter tonight.
Well, he went to the line 12 times. So, I mean,
That too.
He went to the line 12 times tonight. Joel went to the line 10 times. One was 10 for 12. The other was 8 for 10. So, I mean, this is why you put these guys in a pick and roll, and they're almost unstoppable, right? They truly are. This is what we wanted. This is what we got. And then we're getting people to step up around Harden because guys are starting to feel their roles, right? And, like I said, we talked about the bias already. And then Tyrese. Tyrese is huge. Tyrese had the second most attempts tonight. I almost want that, right? Yeah, he was 9 for 15. He had 25 points. 4 for 4 from the line, 3 for 6 from 3. Now, listen to this. If Harden goes 2 for 6 from 3, he's got 24 tonight. So everything just seems different, right? He was 1 for 6. I'm not going to expect him to be 1 for 6 every night. So James got good looks from 3 for the most part tonight. He really did. So, listen, but Joseph, you have the ability to mix it up. What does postseason basketball equal? It equals more of a slowdown. So you have a change of pace at guard, which is nice to have. I wouldn't overlook it. I wouldn't overthink about it, right? And worry about it. Like this guard play is so important to come. We're in March Madness time, but it's so important then, and it's so important where you're going in the playoffs too.
We have a guard now in Maxey where we had an old point guard, 25, that we talked about his speed, but really the only time we can cash in on his speed was in transition. It was on the counterattack, which we all know in the playoffs that gets eliminated for the most part. You can cash in on Maxey's speed, especially playing off ball, as we've seen with Harden. But then when he is playing on ball, whether that's Harden's playing the 2 or Harden's on the bench, because his difference making in speed, especially in the half court, it's like a guy's getting shot out of a cannon. And he's not just a one-trick pony like he was in his rookie season where he's just going to go and do that little float or even go all the way to the basket. He's that threat from 3 now. He's not shooting 61% like he was in the first 5 games. But if anyone expected him to do that for another week, then we're kidding ourselves.
Yeah, but I kind of get what Joseph's talking about because I know we talked about it Sunday on the show as we were watching them trying to come back in that game. And I know Sweeps and I were just like, well, here comes one speed James up the court. Like we only knows one speed. But again, in the playoffs, that's not going to be as much of a factor because the game slows down and the game becomes a half-court game. And I'm sure he's not in this league for this long without knowing when to push the ball, when to not push the ball. And just because he might be a snail coming up the floor, the quickest way to get up the floor is to pass anyway. So kind of to your point, right, if Tobias is leaking or Maxey is leaking, the quickest way up the floor is a pass. right? So you hit that open runner, and then you're off to go. And James can stay in the backcourt, coming up to be that trailer to hit that three once the defense adjusts. Because that's also where I think we struggle so much in the defense in transition is because teams pass the ball ahead, and then we're going to chase the ball. And then you're not able to reset on the defensive end, and then here comes James, boom, buries a three, as the trailer. So there's a lot of benefits of him potentially being slow with the ball come playoffs. At least bring it up the court. It's not really, other than just trying to give him hell and try and hate on everything he does, which I'm going to do. It's not really a concern. Like, you know what I mean?
I meant to tell you too, Tom. To your point on Harden. He was 1 for 6 from 3 tonight, but 3 of those times when he shot, he was fouled. So I'm not saying like, those cash in, those count as 3-pointers, but he was fouled 3 times on 3-point shots. That's big.
Yeah, well, I know the one was an N1, right? But it was not a 3. Are you counting that?
No. There was 3 times where he shot it. It was because he did it twice on Mobley, and then another one I think either on Okoro or I think Lamar Stevens was the other one, where he went up and he was fouled, and he took 3 free throws. He went to the line for 3.
Yeah, well, listen, that's what he's always been able to do.
Mm-hmm.
Something he's been good at throughout his career, and it's something we've seen here. I mean, listen, we're gonna have some ups and downs throughout the rest of the season. That's just factual. But like Joseph was talking about getting trounced in the first round versus Boston and the Nets, like trounced. Like I don't know, man. Like now we're really letting that game like dictate like how good we are too. And I almost think that's unfair. I almost think it's a little bit unfair. That's all. Like we're not perfect, but I mean, I'll take what we have. It's better than what we've had in the past.
Yeah, I mean, when I hear trounced, you're talking
That's a
sweep.
freaking sweep.
Yeah, we're getting swept.
That's a sweep.
I mean, anything's. Listen, after the Hawks series last year, anything's possible. But I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
Best player on the planet, but we're getting trounced. Like that just tells me you got 1 foot out the door. And listen, that's okay. That's okay. But I mean, I wouldn't. Like I said a million times, I wouldn't walk around like overly concerned.
Especially after a win.
Yeah, well, just in general, right? Like, is there some things bench wise? Is there maybe some things that you can say coach wise? Sure, okay. Player wise at times, maybe, but this is a really good basketball team, right? And there's only so many balls to go around too. So you scored 118 tonight. Like, how many shots do you think people are getting off? That's why I laugh at people. Like, they scored 118,
and we got to 118 with scoring. I think we had 13 points total in the third quarter. So pretty good rebound in that fourth. Pretty good bounce back after doing that. Umberto says, fellas, I got a question. Why do people think Durant is the best player in the world? I'll take Embiid and Giannis over him easy. Man gives no effort on the defensive ends when it counts. I don't know, man. I mean, they're all great.
I mean, Durant's pretty great.
Did you watch the finals when he won? I mean, he beat up LeBron pretty much.
I mean, Durant's like a top.
I mean, Durant's pretty damn good.
Top 15 player of all time.
But again, it goes to your preference, right? On big man versus a small forward. Where do you go? We might be split on this panel if we take at least Embiid. Right, I take Embiid and Durant over Giannis, honestly, personally. But between Embiid and Durant, you might have an argument because I know, like Tommy, for example, loves the big man and will side to the big man over the small forward. That's a tough one, though. I don't know. I'd probably go Durant, that's not a knock on Joel. But I mean, Durant's damn good.
Yeah, I'd go Durant, Embiid, Giannis, and that's no shot at Giannis. I guarantee you somebody hears that and says, "Oh, you don't think Giannis is good?" No, he's great. He's a 2-time MVP. He's awesome. He's gonna. I haven't seen a harder worker in this age of the NBA as I've seen with him. I just like Embiid a little bit better. That's all. You can stop Giannis. At least you can attempt to stop Giannis one certain way. You really have to do a lot to stop Embiid. to
KD.
try to stop Embiid.
And
yeah,
KD.
KD's just a different.
Right to that point, right? You're absolutely right.
And I also think
you turn Giannis into a jump shooter, and he's throwing up bricks, right? For the most part. There's really no way to stop Joel or KD.
$150 million Freddie Freeman.
Don, long time no talk, brother.
Jesus. Right.
To the Dodgers.
Isn't that what this is what makes me laugh so much? What did the Braves give Olsen? It wasn't 150 million. It was 100 and
a lot. I think it was
maybe 160. I forget what it was.
How many years was the Freddie Freeman contract though? Because Matt Olson was 8?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like, I don't
8.
care. Like, if you're giving away the same money, who gives a shit about the years? 8 years, 168.
Well,
so the money, 150 million, 168 million is the same damn thing. How did you not re-sign your franchise?
Yep.
The only reason why I care is because how much is he making when he's 38 years old? That's the only thing I slightly care about. I understand that's way in the future. I get it.
A guy like that's going to be able to rake his whole entire life.
And now that the DH is here too.
He's going to LA.
Yeah, listen. If he wasn't going to the Yankees, he was going there. There's no way we can be happy.
It's insane, man.
No, why play the season?
Well, it would have been nice if he just went to the American League and you see him in the World Series,
or a National League team that's not the Dodgers.
I'm more pissed that the Braves didn't re-sign him. Like,
no, I'm happy he's out of the division.
Hey, you know what? What a smack in the face, huh?
To who?
To Freddie for not even giving him his money.
In
Atlanta, though.
Like, not only. Okay, so they obviously knew, right? They obviously knew, and that's why they traded.
And you kind of saw the writing on the wall. You kind of saw the writing on the wall that he was leaving when they traded for Matt Olson. You know what I mean?
And I get that, right? Obviously, sides were like, all right, this is going to work.
Yeah.
But then they're like, again, to your point, slap him in the face by re-signing Olson before Freddie even inked.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, you didn't even leave the opportunity open.
And
to
almost
be like,
gave him the same amount of money that Freddie might be getting.
I gave him more.
Yeah, for real. It's like, man,
just re-sign him at that point.
We all know what you guys made during the COVID time. Come on, you can't lie to us, Atlanta.
And then to go a level deeper, Ralph, look at the savings they got by inking Albies and Acuna so early in their careers.
Yep.
Both of those guys are making peanuts right now,
and they had a lot of breathing room. Very, very smart. Very smart by Atlanta.
Smart on everybody, right? I mean, who knew Acuna and Albies? I mean, we all kind of saw it, but who knew that they were going to get injured? And that's life-changing money for them, right? It's life-changing money for anybody.
Yeah.
But the savings they did with that, and then they can't go and ink their franchise? Come on.
Yeah.
Fam, if you're just joining us too, we'll be bouncing around Sixers, Phils, and then I guess if you guys don't have anything Eagles, just because it's the season. But Joseph says Philly's got $12 million left under the luxury.
I'm done with them.
Yeah, what a joke of a front office, huh?
Middleton
joke of a
is
fucking
a
front office.
doofus.
I just can't believe it.
I like Schwarber, but it can't be it.
Yeah, you needed more than just Schwarber.
You need something else. You need something else. You cannot say John Middleton when you sat there, what was it, 4 years ago, saying stupid money, and then you go ahead and you tell Dombrowski, hey, bud, no luxury
money.
tax, dude.
You know what's
no luxury
too?
tax. That is such a clown move, dude.
It is.
Such a clown fucking move, dude. You swim in money, dude. You swim in it, you can burn it and still be rich. Well, a little tick over the luxury line is going to end end the world.
And it'll be only for a year. It'll be only for a year because Dini's money comes off next year.
Yep.
Or if you're that concerned, Dini's making $14 million.
Then ship him out. Then
you should have signed a Doolittle $2 million or $1.75.
Wait! You know what's hilarious about the Didi Gregorius thing? And this is from Jason Stark said this, and two other guys on the MLB Network said it yesterday. So they're so hell-bent on the luxury tax, right? Oh, we're not going to go and set over the luxury tax. But, and I understand it's different in a way, the arguments. But they were talking about, okay, what are they willing to do if things get really bad with Gregorius and he has no help whatsoever? Kind of replicates what he was last season. There's talk that they're willing to just eat the $15 million. So you're willing to just eat the $15 million, but you're not willing to go a cent over the tax? To make this team better?
The front office has no idea what they're doing to begin with.
And it's disgusting, Ralphie, because I only go so far. Listen, I get the stupid money thing, but I also remember I'm 99% sure we are top 5 in payroll.
Mhm.
So it's like,
And
we
we're
are
a top
spending,
5 market, dude. We're a top 5 market.
but it'd be one thing, Ralphie, if we were like 15th in payroll and we really didn't spend any money. No, they're surfing the line. They're top 5 in payroll. They just don't know how to spend it.
Bro, how does a team in Colorado that just traded Arenado 2 years ago,
Yep.
and just about to
And-
be letting go in Trevor's story about
And said
this year?
$51 million with Arenado.
Exactly.
Bryant will be out of there in 3 years.
How is that?
This going to happen
How
again.
do you get beat out by a team that's in rebuild mode, essentially in rebuild retool mode, and a better division? How do you let that happen?
The more
How do
concerning
you
part
sit there and let
is how does
Colorado
MLB
say,
sit there and let that happen?
Right.
that's insane to me, dude?
Like,
They
you know what I mean? Like,
gave away 2 of their superstars in back-to-back years now, and they're still willing to give up 180 for 7 years for him. That's insane, man.
Eagles, Nicky, I'd be back on board.
Castellanos would be nice, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, here's the
Schwarber,
question,
like,
though.
don't get it twisted. I like the Schwarber signing. I like the deal we gave him.
I do
You
too.
know what I mean? Like,
do too.
We're
that
still
does
third
a
best
lot,
in the
right?
division. We're still third best.
I
in the
agree.
division.
I don't think
At
we win the
best.
division.
At
Yeah,
best.
but
Thank
that-
you,
but
Greg.
that-
Thank you.
That
At best.
can't
Yep.
be, but that can't be it, right? Schwarber's a good piece, but that can't be it.
Yeah.
No,
Schwarber's going to
You
allow
gotta,
you
you gotta
to.
give me something else.
Schwarber's going to allow you to legitly, if you want to, left, right platoon at first base and DH, right?
Yeah.
Or you want to put him in left field every once in a while. But that can't be it. You still have too many holes.
And here's the thing too.
Yep.
How can you let Dombrowski work when you're the owner? You're handcuffing him, dude. Now you're telling him you can't spend no money. So now here's a question real quick.
Yeah.
If we let go, Didi's got 15 mil, correct? So it was 2 for 30, right?
Okay,
So if we trade him, that 15 mil goes off the books, right? Which opens up more space for us. That's what you got to do. At this point, you got to move off Didi to at least spend some more money.
Especially if you're already conceding that it's going to be an open competition.
You have to move
Just
him.
give it to him. Just give it to Stott. He should be your guy. He's your first round pick.
Yeah, but what the problem is, who's going to take him after what he did? I mean, he was a zero. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
No,
he
I
was
hear
like
you.
Danny. He was like Danny Green of baseball last year.
I hear you, but you should be out there offering him and like he
If-
should have been
if
in the
I
deal.
gotta sweeten up-
He
listen,
should have
if
been in
you
the deal
got-
to get Chapman, right?
If I
He
gotta
should-
throw in my top 10 prospect, not saying like top 5, maybe like a number 7 in our minor league system. Holy shit, we might not even. I don't even know if we even have one. But if we do, I'll throw one guy in there just to sweeten up the deal a little bit to a team that's rebuilding.
Yeah, Greg. So you said Gregorius should have been in the Matt Chapman deal?
Well, like if you were to go get Chapman, right, and you know that Chapman wanted one of your top 3 guys, whether it's Painter, Abel, or Stott, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
where you go. All right, I'll give you Abel,
But you got to take on the 15.
but you're
mil.
taking Didi.
But yeah,
Okay.
you gotta take
Kind of like
Didi.
what we
Yep.
kind of like what we did with the Mariners to get them to eat Carlos Santana. We
Yeah,
gave
with,
them JP Crawford.
Yeah, yep.
And Santana ends up on the Indians, and,
And
he
it's-
goes
you know
right
what I
there.
mean?
Oh no, I'm
So-
sorry. What's their new team? What's their new
The
team?
Guardians.
The Guardians. He ends up on the Guardians.
Yeah, he ends up
Sweeps,
with
I know. That's why I
42
said platoon at first.
Yeah.
ends up in Cleveland. He hits 42 bombs.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so that's what we should have been
It's-
doing.
It's literally insane, man.
And
I mean,
if you're gonna re-sign a guy like
Agree with
a Double, just wait till the end of the all season. You know what I mean? Like, don't let that be your first option.
Fuck a Double. This comes down to we shouldn't be talking about having to trade Didi, right? That's where we shouldn't even be having a conversation about because it doesn't even matter. You should be
You
willing to
shouldn't.
go
You're
over.
right.
You should be willing to go over.
that's what I'm saying, Tommy.
Whatever
You
it takes
have
to
to.
win. Your best player, the MVP, the NL is begging you for guys.
Every day, begging. Every day.
bro.
Can't be more
Every
public
day.
about like, hey, we need more.
It's like he's on Broad Street holding a sign. You know what I
For
mean?
real.
Like
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, he basically looked at
handling for hitters and help.
he looked into the damn camera today, and he was basically like, "Oh yeah, that's nice. Next, next,
Yeah.
okay, great. Well, what else do you have for me?"
Yeah, I mean they need another outfielder at least, if not
Yeah.
2. Okay. And I think if you do keep Didi, which I'm okay with, like he's got to play third base. And maybe that can make you better defensively than you were last year. Right? So I mean, I'm looking to be able to play better defense. So Schwarber just brings me another bat, and it's nice.
Right.
It's nice to have a guy that can hit me 30. Sure, of course. The more guys, the merrier that can lose some baseballs. But Come on, I have glaring holes in the outfield. And you're going to tell me that you want to be a postseason team with Matt Verling? Or Dubo Herrera?
Yeah, that's disgusting, dude.
Guys,
And who went left? And on that, Tom, who went left?
Well, Verling, I guess.
Okay, yeah, because you're right. Right now, they're both going to have to play.
No, real question is Moniak actually going to play in the big leagues this year?
Stop.
Number one fucking
Ralphie.
overall pick. It's been 17 goddamn years.
Ralphie. Come on, Ralphie.
Is Adam Hazley?
Who?
What's going on with him?
He's still in a padded
Every
room
single
somewhere.
year,
Yeah, I know.
Mickey Moniak gets. He's got a shot to win it. AAA. We'll see in September, Mickey. Yep.
It's sad because this baseball team has some semblance of man, they could be good.
Yeah.
For real, dude.
It's just missing another over the piece top that can big time production, in your lineup, and you can make a case man, this is a really good lineup, right? This is a really dangerous lineup. They match up well against other dangerous lineups. You can't be what this baseball team's been for the last X amount of years. You can't be halfway in it.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been a definition of halfway in this mess for a while. So you either are willing to go over it and spend money and try to win, or you're just halfway in, and this is where John Middleton and the Phillies are today.
What I would look at, again, this is not luxury tax. This is more of just a marginal. I don't even say marginal because this guy's a good player. And I know Dombrowski tried getting him. It was either last year or 2 years ago. And we've looked at him for a couple of years. I know the Cincinnati Reds are trying to clear payroll. What I would try and do is try and see if we have any chance of getting Mike Moustakas. Because at least I know he can play third. Mm-hmm. I can't go into another year having Reese at one end and Bohm at the other end because I can't. Listen, if Bohm,
that's where Tommy's putting Didi, right? Bryson wins short, Didi plays third.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm cool with
I
that.
have too many needs. I can't even look
Dude,
at
I cannot have Didi. I need Didi to play. That's $15 million coming off. He cannot come off the bench. He cannot. I need him to be an everyday player. $15 million. I need you to play every single game. Okay? Maybe have some off days here and there, but I need you to play almost 162 if you're making 15 mil. He has to.
Glaring holes in the outfield. That's what it comes down to. People are worried about pitching. I think our pitching's okay. I think our bullpen's okay.
We could always use an arm or two, sure, but it's all right.
Who can't? I think our starting rotation can be good. I do. I think
I forgot we traded for Gibson last year. It was the name I just forgot, right? So right there you're three deep, and then do you get that next step from Eflin, and then the name that you just brought up that I cut you off on? Sorry, do you get that next step from Ranger, right?
Yeah, and that's okay. So you feel all right, Ranger looked good when he was throwing last year, so maybe that can continue. And then your bullpen's not what it was in years past per se. It's definitely upgraded. It definitely has some promise. It's not lights out, but you never know because new people go to new places and in the bullpen and they figure some things out again. That's been seen over the years. So you have two possible closers. As somebody that Joe said you need a closure. You do have two guys who've closed games before, and really a third if you add Sir Anthony in because he's done it. Mm-hmm. So you have some things back there. I'm not overly worried about this bullpen. I'm looking at my two outfield spots and I said, what are you doing again? So you're going to allow this to happen again? You're going to have a black hole in center field and you're going to try to band-aid it with a Double? Come on, man. Come on. I don't care if a Double's batting 8th in my lineup or 9th because there's a DH now, right? But then you sure as hell need to then address left field in a big way. In a big way then.
Well, I heard Jason Stark. I heard Jason Stark say yesterday, they're really hoping Matt Vierling wins the job. I say this with no disrespect whatsoever. Who the hell is Matt Vierling? Is he a first overall pick? Where the hell did he come from?
Matter, but that doesn't necessarily always matter. You know this. It's baseball.
No, but it's why? What has he done to attach? He's our guy.
He had a good run when he was caught
a little bit last year.
Yeah.
He showed a little bit of promise. I'm with. I understand what you mean,
Ryan. But he did swing it well. So they're probably okay, maybe the guy can play. But we're talking about 162. We're not talking about 80. Yeah. We're not talking about time with somebody.
And also,
I would love for Matt Verling to take the position and run from it and come at 25 home runs and play a good left field. But you're asking a lot when you're asking for Double Herrera and Matt Verling to give you production. I'm not saying you're asking for a ton, But I mean, both guys can lose baseballs, right? And they both have a track record of being able to lose a couple. But you're just
Odubel can lose himself on the base pass.
Yeah, we know all the antics. It's just unacceptable that you can't. Like I said, you can sell me on a Dubel and Verling in center field if you got Chris Bryant in left field, right? Or if you got Castellanos in left field. Like you can start to, I can say, okay, all right, I get it. You're gonna have somewhere on the field that's not perfect. All right, like Bryson Stott has to play day one. I don't give a shit. I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. He's your everyday starting shortstop, and Didi plays third, and then Baum and Didi can switch. Didi can play short sometimes, right? You can test Alex at third a little bit, because Schwarber's got the DH for you a lot, and then I get Hoskins at first, and then maybe that's where Alec plays a little bit too. So, I mean, if you did it like that, you actually give some flexibility to your rotations and days off. It makes too much sense to happen. It makes too much sense, and then you don't have a black hole at third base. You actually have a shortstop going there, and it's probably a better conversion. And now look, you're probably going to play better defense.
That's the biggest key. Like, not only do we have to hit, but we got to play better defense. And that's got to be number one. And regardless, that what we currently have is not better defense than what we had last year. Not right now.
Joseph, I think he put this in the group earlier. He said he's got the DH Hoskins, first base Bohm, second base Segura, third base Didi, shortstop Bryson Stott, left field Schwarber, center field Herrera, right field Harper, pitcher Wheeler, and then hand Familia. Are we a wild card team?
No, we can't leave off arguably our second best player, JT Realmuto.
No, we're not. But
We're not.
No, you know what the problem is?
Well, are we six? There's six. Remember this. There's six now.
Yeah.
Six. Are you a top six? I don't know. You're this is where you're at again, right, guys? And this goes for every baseball team every year.
I would say you're a fringe six.
Exactly. I think we're a fringe six.
Everything has to go right. Everything has to go right for you. This is the position you're in. Like Harper has to have a monster year. Realmuto has a monster year. Hoskins has to bounce back, right, and be able to hit 30 out, right? Schwarber's got to hit 30 out. Hey, you got a lot of things that have to go perfect for you to be a six. You had a Castellanos. You have a Brian. I'm not telling you that things still don't have to go right for you, because they do, but you're relieving pressure. You're relieving pressure. This is common sense. The more guys that I have proven that I can put in my lineup that teams fear a little bit, right? That's a win. You bring Castellanos here, he can get 30 out here too. So, I mean, like sometimes, like, come on. I mean, you got to go over it. Go spend $25 million a year. It's not going to kill you. You're going to make it up if you're winning baseball games.
Yes, you will.
Greg, we touched on it a little while ago, and that's when you're third at best in your division, which we currently are at best, you are automatically by default one of the last wildcard teams.
Mm-hmm.
So you're already digging yourself out. So you already don't have any wiggle room. You're not even factoring in what the other divisions are. So that's why it's like, yeah, Schwarber, it's nice. Are you a better team today than you were yesterday? Absolutely. But that doesn't alleviate the fact that the Mets and the Braves are better than you. And we're not even factoring in the Nationals, who won the World Series 2 years ago. And the Marlins, who give you hell. I'm not saying the Marlins are better, but I mean,
but they give you hell as a team, right?
Yeah. I mean, we forget how to play baseball when we play the Marlins. So I mean, that's important.
Yeah, I don't think the Nats are good, but everybody else is, and the Marlins aren't good, in my opinion. Like, I think we're better than both of those teams. But what is that? That's got you third, and I can make a case like, all right, the Braves should be better because of Kuna. Like, okay, they lost Freddie, but you get Acuna back, you get Olsen. They're still really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not gonna shit on them. I don't know if they have the pitching to do it again. But they do have some young arms that can throw. I get it.
Say all their pitching's young, so it's just a matter of can they bounce back after a long year.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's tough to go back, but I mean, the Mets are better. I mean, everybody got better. You can make the case that the Braves got better because they just get Acuna back, right? You know what I mean? So they argue we get better. I know the Mets are underachievers, like Joseph is saying. They have a lot of talent, but it would just be nice to say, hey, we're right here with you, right? Like the Bryant, give him $200 million and say we're right here with you. Hey, New York, right? And Castellanos is right. Castellanos is right there. Let me take anything away from that.
You got DeGrom and Scherzer. We got Harper, Schwarber, Bryant, or Harper, Schwarber, Castellanos. Let's go, right? You know what I mean? Like real muto.
And then it's like, are we better than the Brewers? No. Are we better than the Giants and Dodgers? Definitely not better than the than the Dodgers. You know what I'm saying? Then you arguably have three teams out west: Giants, Dodgers, Padres. And like I know Tatis is going to miss 3 months, but still. So when you start looking at that wild card spot,
how about that? How does that guy not get like disciplined?
Well, and then when he says the reporter when they ask
which
him, which one, dude? Start reading your contract, Fernando.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Hey, which team are you going to play for next year? Because it's not going to be us.
Listen, I will never forget, like when it first came out, we saw the clip of Machado flipping out on him in the dugout.
Yeah.
And all of our we said it that night. It was a Wednesday show, and we said that's got to take a lot from Machado because Machado doesn't talk. He's not that type of guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's somebody like he'll spike you running to first base, but he's not gonna do that, especially late in September. That was really telling. I'm not saying he's so Tatis is a Ben Simmons. I'm not trying to do that, but the ball's on this guy when a reporter says, "Oh, what about the accident?" He says, "Which one?"
Yeah,
ball steal on that freaking guy.
Yikes!
So, how much do you think Castellanos is asking for, and how much do you think he gets?
That's a good question. Right now on what's this? The MLB tractor. His market value is $21 million. Is his market value?
You know what? I was literally looking at his age just to kind of gauge.
Yeah, and he's 30.
And just to be quick, I was going to be between Schwarber and Bryant. But I was going to be closer to the Schwarber end. So Schwarber was 19? We got it done for, I think, 19 and a half. I think 21, 22 is that area of where you're looking. Because I don't think he's Chris Bryant 26 or 28. But he's definitely because you also too, you could probably give him 2 years, $50 million and call it a day.
The problem is that the teams that were in the market for Bryant and Schwarber, most importantly, you had the Rays up there, you had the Blue Jays up there. Now that Castellanos is kind of he's the final piece, really. You know what I'm saying? Two of the big names have fallen. He's the last one. You might have a team that overpays just because other than Castellanos, who's the big name that's out there at that position now? It's pretty much nobody.
I can look for you 1 second, right?
Because it was kind of just those three.
A lot of guys signed before.
Yeah, he's like
those three
the
and
only
Freeman.
one left.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have Dexter Fowler, Ian Desmond, Conforto, Pham, Dickerson.
Conforto's another interesting name.
Yeah.
It won't cost you a lot. Or it won't cost you the 22 or 23 that Castellanos will.
No, and listen, people in New York do. I mean, I've talked to some Mets fans about him. I mean, people still think he can play.
Yeah.
And I don't know, right? I don't know. He's been like a little bit of a roller coaster.
He has been a bit of an enigma recently, but he's also been banged up a lot. So who knows if he stays healthy? Again, we're worried about a guy's health. Again, you go back to Tommy, what you said a couple minutes ago, right? The margin for error. Because of where this team and this front office has put this team, the margin for error is very, very slim.
Can't have any slide off. Absolutely not.
No, I don't think Nick's going to get more than Bryant because I just don't think baseball will let it happen. But he could get $25 million a year. I think short term you might be higher average. If you go 4.5, you're probably looking closer to the 20. I got no problem tossing him $24 million a year. I got no problem tossing him $25 million a year. I don't care.
Yeah,
I
me
need
neither.
to fix it. I'll bring in Conforto too. Like, I mean, if I'm talking stupid
We
money,
have a DH.
Yeah, I'm just bringing in guys. I'm saying, you know what? I'm signing a fish that can lose 30 in this ballpark again. So now I got another guy mad into my lineup that can lose 30. Now I got a bunch of cats that can lose the baseball, right? And then I go give me Conforto too. right? Because I don't trust my center field spot.
Yep.
Right. So I got problems. And then if I did that, listen, if I just signed Castellanos, this team is a legit playoff contender now. They're a legit playoff contender, and that's not crowning Castellanos. That's saying this is a really good lineup. Then it's a dangerous lineup. So can
you shrink your holes, right? You shrink your blackout spots.
Yeah.
Right. To your point, Tom. You take one more black hole off of the lineup card.
Mm-hmm.
Ralphie, can you send me the website you're looking at, the tracker?
Robert, Bryant got signed like 2 hours ago to Colorado.
We couldn't go $200 million on that. It's a fucking joke. It's such a joke. Your star player begged you for him.
Yep.
You repay him. Man, I get it. Schwarber's a good signing. It's a very good signing. I'm taking nothing away from it. It doesn't move the needle a ton, but it says, okay, my lineup got better. Right? My lineup got better.
You know what it says, Tom? It says, "Hey, we're awake. The lights are on in the office."
Yeah,
I think Alec Boehm can have a big year this year. I got a vibe. I got a feeling. It was so dreadful last year and so much heat that everybody's like sort of out on him. And he's still a really big prospect. He's a guy who's supposed to be able to swing it, right? I mean, and we've seen little flashes of it. I can't tell you defensively. I still don't love that, but with the DH spot, with first base being able to be played a little bit for him too. Right. I'm like, you know what? Like, maybe he can have a really good year for us.
I would love it. I would love it.
Tom, last year, the reason why I liked him so much is because in the short spurt we saw of him 2 years ago, when he wasn't hitting for power, he was hitting for contact at the very minimal. And yeah, to your point, I'm not necessarily worried about defense. It's the problem with him last year was that we already knew he was a liability defensively, but somehow he was worse offensively. Like he had no redeeming qualities. So it's I don't want to compare him to Jetpacks, but it's kind of like, okay, is this you have two roads here. Are you going to have some kind of resurgence, or are you going to go in the same path as Jetpacks was?
Oh, he's back in camp. He's back in camp.
Well, he has to be. We have him for 6 years.
I just think he took the field with him.
I think he got in his head. I think he panicked. Yeah.
From the field up to the plate. But I mean, he's a guy, you have a lot of like, I need this guy. I need this guy. I need this guy.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's time to say, hey, let's go get another guy too. And then you're feeling really good about what you have. I mean, think about it. Then you have a lot of guys that, like, if they step up, man, you could be a problem. Like, if Alec has a really good year, if Reese has a really good year.
Yeah, Reese bounces back. I mean, even JT, too. JT had a down year.
He had a down year. He
offensively.
Every time there's guys on, JT struck out. You can book that. Yep. I remember talking about that last year. Hey, JT's up. Best catcher in baseball. What happened?
Yeah.
What happened? I don't know if he's the best. He's very good. He's top three. But calm down. I mean, listen, this team needs a lot of things, like in terms of go right. But you can shore up that position, and then like, hey, if Stock can play, it's a bonus. If Didi has a good year.
Red saying Jock went to the Giants.
Yeah, Jock just signed. I thought.
And Corey Dickerson.
Yeah, $6 million.
Greg, I think you and I talked about this like 3 months ago, pre-lockout, which seems like it was like 10 years ago. Our guy's still available.
Which one?
Brett Gardner.
Oh God, no.
He's still lurking. He's lurking.
Caillou.
If he's like the Band-Aid answer, I might call it. I might ask for the strike.
You give me a city of athletes in the same city, James Harden and whatever his name is, Gardner. I've completely blanked on his first name. Brett. I wanted to say Bruce.
He's a hate the face guy. You can call him whatever you want.
How are we going to start a season with Matt Burling and Aduba Herrera?
Because it's the Phillies and
because they don't learn their lessons.
Doesn't want to spend any money.
Because they saw the last 2 years horrible bullpen, and it took them 2 years to recognize it. Now they actually like, oh wait, we got to make some moves. It's going to take them 2 to 3 years to recognize. Oh wait, we need a center fielder that isn't a number 1/number 7 overall pick that can't play, even though we don't even give him chances really. Roman Quinn, who can't stay healthy, Odubel Herrera that doesn't know he plays baseball, and Matt Veerling, where half the fan base doesn't know who he is. They still haven't figured that out yet. I'm
just still more perplexed that we can't draft a center fielder. We had Two.
Can't draft-
Two in
can't
the top.
draft-
Mhm.
can't
Two in the
draft
top
period.
5 picks.
Can't draft period, Greg.
Yep.
If we could draft, we wouldn't have to worry about the luxury tax.
What's a minor league system?
Yeah, what is it? It's optional.
Yeah.
Definitely
Right.
optional for the Phillies.
Rutgers is up 71-70 in OT.
Yeah.
What channel is this? I can't.
True
TV.
TV. Or the
Oh, I don't-
24-hour Impractical Jokers Network.
I don't think I have that on my cable.
No, they're going
No.
off. They're going off of Verling in 34 games, 77 plate appearances. He batted .324, and had two homers. So they're going off of that.
Yes. Don't
Wow.
spend money. He's the answer in left field, baby.
2
Let's
home runs.
fucking go, baby.
Two home runs.
Well, I mean, he's batted .324. He only had 77 at bats. So my
Who-
point is, like, that's not enough sample size for me.
Who was that second baseman that was like hot for like a month last year?
For us,
He was just a random guy, minor league guy.
was it Williams? Luke Williams?
No. That was the third baseman. That was
I know who it
Wasn't
was.
Luke.
the guy. People were calling him the second coming of Utley. That wasn't named Jetpacks.
No, I know who he was. I just forget his name.
Say like that's what this reminds me of. Like the guy.
Oh, what's his name?
The guy got hot, and the problem is Veerling wasn't around long enough to go back into the struggle bus.
5th round draft pick of the Phillies.
The second baseman or Veerling?
No, Verling.
Oh.
Who are you talking? Oh my God, who are you
Oh.
talking
You,
about?
Greg, it's your guy. You were like it was like a love affair with you in this guy. Mayton.
Mayton.
It's a freaking it's Nick
Yes.
Mayton again. The problem
Good
is
call,
Nick
Tommy.
Mayton he stuck around for a month too long. I swear to God, if Veerling would have stuck around another month, it'd be the same thing.
Yeah, like, I didn't hate Nick, but he just wasn't good enough. Like to be
No.
he's a guy who could play, sparingly, give guys day off, right? So I mean, there's ways to do that. They had some injuries last year too that didn't help them in spots. I don't know where this year's going to go. It just feels like we're never going to have baseball.
Nick Mayton, to your point, Tom, he does good when Gene Segura is out for 2 months. Like that's okay. Come in, have fun. Same thing with the little third baseman that we had last year, which I still wish we could have re-signed because sometimes he was like our best player. Yeah, Ronald Torreyes. Like, where is he? He's like the guy who got away.
God, don't bring Torreyes back. He'll be
Why?
playing every
Why?
day.
I might have. He can play center field.
with Girardi, he'll be playing every day.
I'd rather have him than Gardner, Greg.
Yeah, well, we're not talking that in. You're the only one talking that into the universe.
Because I can see you're telling me you can't see that happening.
No, I can absolutely.
Joe
I'm just trying.
Girardi, Yankees
I'm just
reunion.
trying not to think about it.
Oh, he'll come in. We can't go over the luxury tax, so this guy will take a discount to come in here and be a friggin' idiot and hit his head on the side of the dugout. I'm telling you, I might go on strike. Personally.
Well, if they don't do anything else, it's gonna be a long summer.
Because they're not making a deal with the deadline. We've been down this
Why
road
would,
before.
why would we do that?
No. We've been on.
Why
winning
would we?
streaks and
Why
don't
would
do
we become a better baseball club over the offseason, guys? Crazy.
anything. Why make playoffs?
Yeah.
What a
Playoffs.
What a wild situation.
Playoffs.
Middleton signed Harper and said, I'm done spending.
Baseball team.
How do you like that stupid money?
What glaring holes?
I'm
What's
done.
money?
I'm done spending. I'm
Yeah, it's
over
like
it.
oh, stupid money. All right,
Yeah.
here's
Here,
Uh,
watch the fanatic dance for you.
Here's
while our
Wheeler.
team struggles.
here's JT. Here's Harper. We're done. Everybody
Jorge-
else is going to be bargain. Is going to be Walmart clearance section.
Jorge Soler still out there?
No, he might be. He
um,
went back to the Braves. He might
Phillies
not.
draftee.
No, I think that was the other one. That was the center
No.
fielder, Tom.
Yeah,
Rosario.
I know
Eddie
Rosario.
Rosario.
I thought Soler did, but he might not have yet too.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It's not like we would pick him up anyway. Doesn't matter.
yeah, Soler's still on the market.
Who we
Well,
had?
what really comes down to it is like, where do you want Soler to play, right? Or where do you want Schwarber to play? Because they're both DHs, right? So, like, Castellanos can at least play left field.
Mhm.
Schwarber and Soler can't play the field anymore.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. They're signing everybody else, Mark.
Right. But not us.
No,
I mean,
no.
listen, they're they're the Dodgers.
Gee, it's getting so bad. I might kick some tires on 36-year-old Ian Desmond because that sounds exciting.
Who?
Kevin Pillar.
I would have taken Pilar like 2 years ago. Not now though.
Jason
Because you got
starts
Matt Verling. You
Oh,
can't get no
72 games of Matt Verling / Veerling. I don't even know how to pronounce his name.
I
what
would
is it?
take
Verling,
Pilar at this point. Pilar's at least a pro, and at least he's going to bring you something defensively.
It's becoming like the Eagles linebacker position before, or I can't even say before Reddick, because Reddick's kind of he's kind of both.
Yeah, he's going to be.
There's not a name I won't take. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this guy plays, he's alive. Okay, let's give him a shot. It's like you know what it is, Greg? It's the Philly center field position, it's the Eagles linebacker position, and it's the Sixers bench.
Yeah.
You alive? Do you have hands? Great. You're going to be a part of our team. Here's a 10-day.
Is Hazley at camp?
I don't think so. I don't know, though.
I don't think Hazley knows. Isn't that great? 7th overall pick. We don't know where he is.
Oh man.
Well,
Because Roto Champ has him as playing the outfield for us in the projected lineup. They have Segura, Schwarber, Harper, Realmuto, Hoskins, Didi, Baum, Herrera, Hazley.
Where they have him playing? Left field? And I guess Odubel in center?
Or the other way around.
Ralphie doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
I was going to say, it doesn't matter. Neither one of them is Castellanos.
I just can't believe we're back to this.
I would love it if Hazley or Moniak somehow get on the field and find their way to the stadiums and play. I would love it, but I'm not going to give myself up.
So how much do we have left to spend realistically? Was it 12, right?
12.
So the 12 plus the 15 that you let go, Didi. So that's 27. I mean, that's above market value for Correa. You know what I mean?
Tommy, I will say he is on the 40-man still. So if he's not in camp, he's absolutely taking up a spot.
Is Moniak still on the 40-man?
Yes.
Yes.
So I think I know what they're doing. I think I know exactly what they're
Trade?
No, they're gonna
platoon of 4.
Listen, that's what I don't be surprised.
Nothing surprises me. Trust me.
Like one of those guys is going to be up and is going to get a chance. They're going to give him a run again. I don't like it one bit, but they're going to give him a run. Like they're going to either let Hazley if he's at camp or Moniak play. I'd rather see them. I'd rather see them than a Double at this point. Again,
is that Ron Harper?
Yeah,
Junior. Yeah. If you look at the Phillies website depth chart, Adam Hazley's nowhere on there. Center field, it's Odubel, Veerling. Left field, it's just Veerling, and then right field is Harper, Veerling in the outfield. He's not even listed on the Phillies website. Now, what does that mean, right? You know what I mean? Who knows? Schwarber's not even added here yet, so.
Yeah. Well, this one has him added here. That's why I was like curious. That's why I was curious on what was going on with those two guys. Not that I'm not clamoring for those two guys.
No, I hear you. I completely understand.
Ken Rosenthal, said it is 6 years, 160 for Freddie.
Yep.
For the Dodgers.
The Dodgers did 6 for 160.
Yeah.
Braves did 8 for 186 for Olsen.
Yeah.
If you're worried about age, you couldn't give Freddie 6 for 160?
Listen, he could have did it. Maybe it was time he thought to move on.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe he wanted out. You're right, Tommy. That's something we won't know.
They signed Olsen quick to tell their fan base, like, hey, we believe in this guy.
Yeah, I think you were away. I said that was the biggest slap in the face. Not necessarily the trade.
I think it was trying to sell their fan base on, like, hey, like we believe in our a guy who changed our franchise. We believe in this guy to be able to take his spot. Dude, they're still really fucking good. Like they get Acuna back, they're almost better.
Dude, they won the World Series without him.
Sweep.
He probably is barking. He's probably barking at. He's probably barking at Moniac. They're barking at each other. He's barking at me while I'm barking at you. Because both of them seem like they're a fucking problem. It's just amazing that these four guys are in conversations for our outfield. Like, so Matt Burling is probably our best option over 77 at bats. like, really, like, this is what we're doing.
No! Oh my God!
They saw the inbounds.
Oh my God!
Oh my God, you guys are ahead of me.
Oh, sorry.
Shut up, Greg.
Revenge.
We're on local time, Greg.
Yeah.
Oh, they choked. They freaking choked.
Oh, Rutgers. No.
Yeah,
77, 76, 19
I
seconds
think
left.
the intriguing part of Verling is it's not Odubel. We know what Odubel is. Let's at least see what Verling is, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ. If it's not us, where do you think Castellanos even goes?
Blue Jays.
Everywhere else but here.
Blue Jays.
Yeah, Blue Jays are.
They've been trying to spend it they're like, oh, do you want our money? Do you want our money? Do you want our money?
Well, didn't they just give George Springer money last year? Or was it 2 years ago?
Yep. But see, they're a real team, Ralphie, to where they don't just spend for one season.
Yeah.
They build off of things. And on top of that, Ralphie, they have young players who they
drafted pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bo's pretty good.
When in doubt, just draft somebody.
Vlad Jr.'s pretty good, huh?
Bo, Vladdy, and Kevin Biggio.
Yeah, just
good.
When in doubt, just draft somebody's son. What the Phillies do?
Two
we're just
guys
gonna get
with
a
pedigrees
random guy.
behind them. Pretty good.
We're gonna draft a random high school kid that won't be ready for 7 years.
Pretty good.
Dennis saying Padres. Okay, come on, Harper. Oh,
all right. Wow.
I love March. I love March.
March is a great time of the year.
It is.
For now, the way it's been.
Yeah. No fouls. No fouls. Oh, it's going OT. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
no fucking way, dude.
Come on.
2,
Buzzer it.
1.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
Harper hits those. Harper's hit those in the past. What he hit against Purdue, right? Yeah.
I thought that was a Jalen Suggs,
OT.
Ralphie. I thought that was a Jalen Suggs.
Onions. Big hit there.
Freaking double OT for Notre Dame and Rutgers. Wow.
And it's only the 4th game so far.
Well, what's funny, too, about the Blue Jays,
I'm going to be there next.
Bichette and Biggio both came in the same draft as Moniac.
Nice.
Greg, I was having a really.
I got a little room. I'll put some more salt on it real quick.
I gotta check on this guy too. Let's see if he's still with it. So you guys all know why they went with Moniac, right? It was cheaper. He was the cheaper option.
Luxury tax.
For the signing bonus, and they went because they wanted to overpay on their 2nd round pick, Kevin Gowdy, who I don't think's made it above like single A. Who was another high school pitcher. He had Tommy John surgery. He hasn't made it anywhere. So, their top 2 picks from that draft are...
And isn't he not going to play anymore because of...
I'm trying
that
to...
arm?
Yeah, I think he definitely... he's close to retiring if he hasn't already. You're absolutely right, Frank. So that worked out really well for the Phillies.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't got to worry about outfielders anymore.
Ben brings up a good question. He says, "How many games does a Sixers-Cavs first-round series go?" I think it goes 5. I was saying this to Tom on the phone earlier. I think maybe not the Celtics, but if you drew up either the Bulls or the Cavs, I think they both go 5. Ralphie,
I'm gonna go 6 for the Cavs. I think the Cavs can steal 2.
probably Garland gives you a game. Just goes unconscious.
And then they're down 3-1 and then play freaking out of their mind, and then the hope comes back in, and you blow them out in game 6.
Gowdy got traded. Oh my god, isn't these teams he was on? Hickory Crawdads.
Who was this again?
Kevin Gowdy. Down East Wood Ducks. That's awesome.
Jeez.
He was actually part of. That's why he's not with New York City. He was part of the Kyle Gibson deal.
Yeah.
Sweeps.
Yeah.
He's part of the Kyle Gibson deal and Ian Kennedy. That worked out well.
Greg, you'll like Sweeps' comment on this one. I don't know if you have the screen up. Yeah, Sweeps is on the roll right now.
I'll go 5.
Oh, thank you.
I'll also go 5.
All right, here you go. Yeah, we have another 5 minutes of this.
Yeah.
6.
Say that again, Tom.
It's 5 or 6. I mean, it's maybe go 6, but it's 5 or 6. Nothing past that. You're not going 7 where you're in worry mode.
No. Joseph says, I know Embiid has never lost to Chicago, but I don't need DeRozan pulling a Kawhi against us in any round. No, I think DeRozan definitely wins them at least one game on his own.
DeRozan's anti-playoffs. So he's
fair. That's fair.
Anti-advance.
You got to – the one thing – again, I don't necessarily worry about them in a series as much as I am I'm like a stand for like half of their people. They will be a much better team once Caruso and Lonzo come back, which I know they're due to come back soon.
Oh yeah, they'll be better for sure. There's no like easy round.
Oh, get that shit out.
I think the Eastern playoffs. I think it's going to be disastrous.
Anybody can advance.
Mm-hmm.
You can make a case for a lot of teams advancing.
There he is, TTP. He says, let's go. Good win. Good W today. Yeah, we blew a lead, but basketball is a game of runs. Walked away with a win on the road against the legit Eastern Conference playoff team. Completely agree, TTP. Daniel Bakley says the Bulls are 0-13 against the Heat, Sixers, and Bucks.
Whew.
Well, hopefully that continues and that ends up being like 0-18 by playoffs end. Jason, he could be back. I don't believe he is.
That's Ralphie's guy.
Yeah, Ralphie's is Laker.
Yeah, he's back. Yeah,
he is back. Okay.
Yeah.
Did he just come back, or has he been back for?
But a week ago. Yep.
Oh. All right, he's back. Lonzo's not back though, right?
No, he's still out.
The bald-headed brethren know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a connection.
They have a connection.
They're pen pals. They check in on each other.
Mm.
Caruso said, "Hey, Ralphie, out of the Lakers." Ralph says, "I don't want to talk about it. It's March Madness season."
Yes, that is correct.
Did I see that you guys lost by 20?
Well, the funny thing is we were down by 21, then cut it down to 3, and then it just, the score went back up.
Yeah, I mean, that was a rhetorical question. You guys lost by 20.
Box
That
out
is
one
correct.
time. I know it's second overtime, but box out. Put a body on somebody.
Look like the Sixers. Look like the Sixers defense for a second. Ralphie, did I also see that you guys have lost 11 road games in a row?
That is correct, too.
I was going to say, that's
And
also...
we are actually 0-9 when LeBron doesn't score more than 50 points since the All-Star break.
I wonder, when you guys are in that play-in tournament, you think LeBron's still going to hate on that?
Probably not.
It's going to come in handy for the guy that was saying, oh, it's ridiculous that players need to go through it. Really?
Do you think they keep it next year?
I think LeBron will be sending a nice, happy letter, because if not, they would have been not even in playoff contention.
We're about to be the 10th seed.
Yeah. And the only reason why you're the 10th seed is because the teams behind you may never win a game again.
Oh, he's on fire.
Come on, Rutgers. Come on.
Oh, Tom McCarthy on the call.
Yeah, he's had the first 4.
He's going to make some money. Fucking lockout screwed him.
It's T-Mac, Steve Lavin, and Avery Johnson. What a trio that is.
Drake Bell from Drake and Josh. He said,
and
he found a way.
Who do they? I gotta see.
Alabama.
They do play Bama.
Yeah.
Winner of this plays Bama. Oh, good luck.
Yeah.
Enjoy tonight.
I know that this is like a hot take, but like the Mets are good, like very good on paper, very good. I don't know though. Like if I'm a Braves fan, like I feel like I'm better.
That's fair.
Like if I'm a Braves fan, I feel like I'm better than them, and not just because I want it, just because like I'm just looking at it. Like good players.
You agree the Mets are better than us, though, right now, correct?
They should be on paper. They absolutely should be. But I mean, Listen, they got good arms, no question about it. When you start with DeGrom, you're in great shape. All right, you're in great shape. And then you add on Scherzer. Great. Listen, looks great on the surface. I would expect it to be sort of the same, but I can't continue to expect Max Scherzer as he gets up in age to be Max Scherzer either. I think that's also fair to a point. Maybe, maybe not, right? But if you're a Mets fan, you're like, typical us. He'll be banged up, right? I like Tawan Walker. I think he's good, and they got Carrasco, who's obviously a good fourth, and Trevor Williams. I mean, their rotation's legit, no questions about it, right? They're back into the bullpen, and Lugo and Diaz pretty good. All right, on paper, their lineup is like, it's good, but it's not like the scariest thing walking around either. Right, like Marte, very good, right? Alonso, a pimp. Lindor had a down year. He's studs, down year though. Nimmo's good. Escobar's good. McCann.
Tell you what, this Rutgers team rebounds the hell.
Like, they're good.
The Marte, when they signed, the Marte signing was the one that really killed me for our center field.
Yeah, listen, it solidified it for sure, but it's not like they got 308 and 12 home runs last year. Like, they get a real good baseball player, very good baseball player. There's no night. They're a very good team. They're better than us, right? They're better than us for sure on paper. There's no questions about that. I don't know if they're better than the Braves. That's where I'm like making the argument for the Braves, which I don't know how I ever do. I hate the Mets too, but like, okay, they start with DeGrom and everything, and Scherzer, and their back end bullpen looks to be solidified. But I don't know. I don't know if they're the team to beat I mean, like, if the Braves lost Freddie and didn't get Olsen, then listen, the Mets become the team to beat, even though the Braves won the World Series. But the Braves are the team to beat in this division until otherwise.
Yeah, reigning champs, you got to give them some credit.
I mean, are they going to score more than 2 runs for DeGrom? I mean, the Mets got their own issues. I'm not going to come on here and start crowning because they're spending money, and good for them, right? I wish I had an owner. Part of it's jealousy. I wish I had an owner willing to spend money, but I don't, right? And like, we're not as good as them, but we really are Castellanos away, right, from being right in a conversation with them and the Braves, where you're like, dude, why not us? Why not?
Yeah.
But
You're absolutely right.
We're missing that known production. Listen, Lighty could hit a fucking bottle, right? And Matt Verlander could end up being a 5th-round pick that's like a hidden gem and becomes a damn good baseball player. Kudos. You actually hit on something semi, right?
But Tommy, I can't wait on that, dude.
Well, that's
I can't wait on that.
Yeah. What are my chances at? A Dubo Rare hits lightning in a bottle, and you see a semi-all-star run? Absolutely not. You can't expect it. It's so far removed, right? Like, if it was a year after, 2 years after, and you're like, oh, I maybe can see a resurgence again. Okay, I can hear you. But I thought we were done with on this one. This is where it irks me. People are like, oh, Tom, I thought you liked the Dubo. Listen, I thought he was a pro hitter, and if he was at the bottom of your lineup, maybe he could help you because he can lose some baseballs and get hot at times. That's all he is. He's a fucking moron in center field. He stinks in center. That hurts you. So it's a lose-lose with him. We've been down this road. So now you're flyering me, right? We're going backwards. Don't take me backwards. Sell me on Matt Verlander and freaking Adam Hazley in a rubber room over Odubel Herrera. All right? Sell me on, you know what? We believe in Mickey Moniak. Sell me on something that I can actually say, you know what? Maybe I can hear him. I'll hear you out. That Mickey just needed a little extra time and grooming. All right, I'll fucking hear you out. Don't circle back this shit. Don't circle back. Lie to us as a fan base, a loyal freaking fan base for over a decade that's been begging for postseason baseball. And what you give me is
the logo. I'm sorry, Tommy.
No, go ahead.
What the hell?
Wow.
He freaking made that? How are you ahead? How the hell are you ahead now?
I don't know. I jumped ahead. Sorry, Tommy. That was an epic rant. I ruined it, and I apologize.
That's a great shot.
Ron Harper Jr.
Wow. Can we draft him? Is he eligible?
Yeah, he could be one and done.
He's been there like 4 years. Oh.
He could be a great bench piece.
No, Greg, don't do this to me.
No.
Don't ooh me.
Oh, what a board. What a board.
Oh.
No way.
He friggin' oohed me.
He didn't get it off.
He oohed me.
Oh, wow. Notre Dame
Oh.
advances.
He oohed me.
I'm sorry, guys.
Well, happy St. Patrick Day, everybody. It's only reasonable the Irish move on, huh? Wow.
What a game, though. What a game.
Double overtime.
No, listen, it's just unfair. Because you have the makings of like a lineup that could be dangerous. And you just won't tack on. Right? So he's like, you're halfway. We're halfway. Tom, we're halfway. We're jerking you. We're putting the tip maybe in a little bit. We're saying, nope. Not tonight, honey. Not tonight. It's a freaking joke. A decade.
And even with all that, you're still expecting a lot from your current guys, right? You're expecting a Reese Hoskins comeback. You're expecting a Alec Boehm resurgence, right? You're expecting all of that on top of not having enough already.
And I'm begging for my young shortstop to play opening day.
Absolutely.
Because what I'm begging for is the lightning in the bottle. What I'm begging for is, why not? What happens if the guy goes and bats 290, loses 20 baseballs, is a spark plug for you and can pick it? What if? Like every other team fucking does. What if? Then we're talking about, hey, are we a top 16? Maybe we are, but we need that from Stott or Boehm. And we're putting our chips in on young players again, and we're probably going to get hurt again. All right? The selling point for Stott is Harper loves him. So maybe he can play a little bit. So give him something. But, I mean, you got to do right by your players, too. And what I mean by do right by your players is you want a locker room to believe they're going to win. So you go sign a Castellanos, and he comes in here, and then guys are going to have a little extra pep in their step, too. You're selling them on Matt Verling and the moron of Double?
To your point, Tom, my question is, if you're going to continue to draft like this, which they have, this is one of the biggest reasons why they've been in this, they've been stuck in the mud, per se. What the hell are they waiting for? Like, is this going to be an every year thing, which clearly it seems like it's going to be, where you're going to go right up to the luxury tax, they're going to go as far as it's willing to go, and then they're just going to stop right there? And so what if it means it keeps them from being, a contender, not just forget world championship, forget about playoffs, just in their own damn division? Because as you've seen, until a Boehm ends up panning out, or Stott, or anybody, and like you said, who's next? Is it going to be that Painter can't play? Is it going to be that X name guy can't? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just going to be a revolving circle.
Yeah,
and then
Painter
on the back end,
pitch.
Yeah, and then on the back end, you're not making up for it by fixing your own failures, because it's not like the Mariners are drafting for you. No, you're drafting for you. People you've hired, people you've put in spots to do it. So as much as the owner's not making the picks, I get it. But you're the people that are putting these guys in roles to do it. So if you guys are going to fail drastically and miserably, like you have ever since you drafted the likes of Rollins, Howard, Utley, the core, right? Hamels, for example. If you're not going to go and do things the proper way there, and you don't even think, God forbid, you go send over the luxury tax, you're not going to win. And every year when you talk about stupid money, or, this is the year, we're going to help our MVP, it's a flat-out friggin' lie. It's a lie. It means nothing that they're top 6 in payroll, because, one, you're not doing it enough to get over the hump, and B, sure, you pay top 6 in payroll in the MLB, but you clearly don't know where to put the money, because that means, I would rather you be 28th, because you have nothing to show for it. 3rd, 4th, 5th place, 82 and 81 every year, it does nothing for me. Endless, September collapses, it does nothing for me. So it's been a revolving circle of nonsense the last 10 and 11 years. It's been the definition of insanity. And I like that we have an MVP candidate, but Jesus God, the guy is looking into the camera saying, we need more, I need more. Mm-hmm. And if you weren't willing to go over the tax and help him and help this team and help this fan base, why'd you sign him? Why? Because you wanted to sell tickets for a year and a half before the fan base realized, oh, wait, this is a facade. Because that's all it tells me. I love Harper. But if you're not going to have any substance to supply, you get a Harper, then you trade JT, or you trade for JT, and all these things. If it's nothing to show for it at the end of September, what the hell is the friggin' point?
It's let's talk about it. It's a halfway in, and it's a lie.
Yeah.
It's the biggest lie of all time, and I felt it when they signed Bryce Harper, right? Because that's an all season where if you're talking stupid money, you don't have to sign Harper, you sign Machado too. Like if it's stupid, I didn't say stupid again. So if I'm talking stupid, I'm talking stupid. All right.
The owner of the fucking team said stupid money.
Yeah, nobody else. We didn't create this narrative of stupid money. You did, and you spent it on one guy. Where's the stupid? Where's the stupid? The stupid is that you left it there. That's the stupid. You
and then you brought in a guy to help you rebuild the team and get him back to where it was because you know Dombrowski's an aggressive guy.
That's the problem with John Middleton. Where was it under John Middleton's great ownership? When was it? When did John Middleton have all this success? How long John Middleton been the owner for the Philadelphia Phillies? How long?
I think he's been an owner for a long time. It's just he was more silent.
Yeah.
Now he's the voice.
I wonder if he's hanging his hat
I'm looking
on.
it up though.
Yeah,
I wonder if he's hanging his hat on.
Owner of the Philadelphia Phillies, majority. I need to know how long he's been the majority owner because I feel like back in the day, I don't know if he was majority owner, like when they were winning. We're talking about a long time here since they won.
Was
4 years.
Born in the money, the heir to the Philadelphia Tobacco and Cigar. In 1994, he purchased 15% stake in the Phillies for $18 million. In 2014, here you go, Tom. 2014, he increased that stake to $48 million or 48%.
Okay, so mostly close to majority, close to it. All right, but so the fact of the matter is he's had now going on 8 years of failed baseball under his essential leadership now. So I mean, I don't know what people want. Like this guy has failed us. So somebody with a percent needs to step up and say, we'll go over the tax. We know if we're winning, we're selling out.
Honestly, my question is, why would Dombrowski come here if he was going to be restricted with the luxury tax?
Because he's probably lied to too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I'm walking out. I get out of the contract, but I'm walking out.
That's the only plausible explanation.
I mean, I'm swinging in the office.
Fire every year, essentially. This is what he's done to the organization. He's got Harper, Romuto, and now he goes a little Schwarber, right? And he's almost added a player like every year.
Last year was Wheeler.
Wheeler, like to try to act like, hey, we're trying to win. And that's fine. And you can do that maybe. And in 5 years, you have 5 players. Like I don't know.
And this isn't to Utah, but the problem is,
guys get older.
If you're doing the 1 player a year thing, right, or even 2, let's get crazy, the 2 player a year thing, you're friggin' top heavy, and that's where you become top 5 in payroll, and then the rest is freaking Herrera, Vierling, and somebody in a rubber room. There's no in between. It's like we
go over. Yep, because you're not willing to go over now.
Yes, there's no middle ground.
Yeah, but that's where if you draft well, you don't have to go over. So that's on you too. So once you realize, hey, that's on me. That's on me, right? So now I'll go spend. Did Sweep just say that? Yeah, if you can't draft, then you got to spend. This isn't. You're not allowed to do it this way, right? So you're almost telling us that it's funny he was saying that. I wasn't even looking at it, but you can't have it. You can't have it this way. So as soon as you don't draft well, you have to take ownership in that and say, well, then guess what? I said stupid money, but I'm not willing to go. I got to go spend stupid money. And stupid money really would have been like, again, another offseason, stupid money. Give me Bryant and give me Castellanos. If I'm going to spend stupid money, stupid. But you don't want to spend stupid money. You want to be the Dodgers? Go be the Dodgers then. Go be the East Coast Dodgers and sign everybody.
Yeah, because the Dodgers need Freddie Freeman.
Dude, raise ticket prices, $4 a ticket everywhere. Who cares? It's going to be a commodity ticket. You're making your money back. Are we okay?
Yeah, I mean, we know that. They're getting a Comcast deal.
I'm just talking ticket sales.
But you're absolutely right.
$4 for each ticket in that ballpark, per se, essentially. $4 for each ticket in that ballpark on a nightly basis for 81 games. Do the damn math.
Greg, you know what's actually disgusting? And it just clicked in my head. They arguably stopped paying money and going over when the Comcast deal came in.
Yep.
It's like Jesus. Now
That's why if you remember back that whole offseason, Tommy and I are like, just put the Comcast $1 billion between Harper and Machado. Just give it to them both.
I remember that. Say it again.
And you go get Real Muto. Like this isn't the way this goes. This is a disgrace. It makes me so unhappy for baseball. And guess what, man? Like I said, maybe they hit lightning in the bottom. They play really good baseball. Good for them. All right. This is an indictment. Then we shouldn't be having this conversation. And I hate that we're gonna keep saying stupid money. You spend stupid money, then spend it. Right? Because the Dodgers are spending stupid money.
If they have,
well, look at that lineup now with the Dodgers.
And they draft well.
Yeah.
So they spend stupid money and they draft well.
If they have success, it's despite Middleton. It's despite Middleton. I get it.
You have to have monster years from everybody. This is the point. Like you have to have monster year from Harper. You have to have a monster year from Real Muto. You know, you have to have a bounce back per se year from Bohm, or you have Hoskins has to bat 250 and hit 30 plus. Right?
Wheeler needs to be Cy Young again. Wheeler needs to be Cy Young again.
Yes, Aaron Nola has to step up. Like you need a lot of step ups here to get to where you want to. You signed 2 players. You signed Schwarber and Bryant, right? You're easing. It's what you're doing. You're easing. You're easing some poor outings, some different things, because you're stretching your lineup out. You're making yourself deeper. You're putting more people who are scared to pitch to people. Like it's a whole trickle down fucking effect. Doesn't guarantee you shit. It just guarantees you to be more competitive and have a shot.
Listen to this the Dodgers lineup now with Freeman in the lineup.
Oh my God.
Betts, Turner, Freeman, Betts,
go slower,
Trey Turner, Freddie Freeman, Justin Turner, Max Muncy, Will Smith, Cody Bellinger, Chris Taylor, AJ Pollock.
And what's their left-handed lineup when a left-hander throws? What's their lineup then? I mean, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. They'll put out 2 lineups that are better than our one. They got 2 lineups over there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Never forget their lineup.
6 years, 162 for Freddie.
Dude, Betts and Freeman.
Where's Muncy play?
Jeez.
Sorry, Betts and Freeman.
They have Muncy playing second base in this lineup.
That's insane.
Greg, Betts and Freeman.
And that's no Gavin Lux. Gavin Lux not even anywhere in that lineup.
No,
nope. He's in the other one. He's in the second lineup. They're you know what I mean? They're minor league lineup.
It's so disgusting, dude.
Greg,
it's an all-star game lineup. It literally is an all-star game lineup.
Betts and Freeman alone is better than what we had. Betts and Freeman alone is better.
Yeah. And then you have a bounce back candidate in Cody Bellinger in your 7 hole, who was an MVP or MVP candidate 3 years ago?
Yeah.
If not won it.
I mean, listen, they got firepower for days.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Brian gives us like, oh, we can go, we're better than the Dodgers. I'm just saying it makes you closer. It gives you a fighter's chance. Schwarber and Bryant give you a fighter's chance now. You can actually say like, oh, we can lose baseballs right with them. Per se, we could. Because now it's like, okay, if Hoskins doesn't hit 30, are you dead in the water? Maybe not. Maybe not.
Yep.
I'm fucking pissed. I'm pissed. I look forward to baseball.
Like if Baum doesn't come all the way back, but if Baum gets to 250, are we still good?
Yeah. If he can't give me 275 and lose 25, are we? You know what I mean? Which he never will.
Like I was excited. I'm with you, Tommy. I was excited for Schwarber, but at the same time, I knew it wasn't enough. Like it's not enough. It can't be the only deal. It can't be.
No, and it looks like it's pretty much this, and then you go bargain hunting now. You know what I mean? You go to the bottom of the barrel looking for a platoon, left fielders, and a bunch of slop.
What's kind of shocked me too, outside of free agent, because of the way obviously the money works, I'm shocked they haven't been more active in the trade, like in the trade market. You know what I mean? Like whether it's for Brian Anderson in Pittsburgh or Mullins in Baltimore, or like a name I heard today, like Austin Meadows down there in Tampa Bay. Like what is, or Chapman, right? You just let Chapman go.
Well, they were in extensive talks with Kiermaier. They were trying to get Kiermaier, but this was before lockout.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
No, I mean, a Kiermaier would have been nice. Cedric Mullins would be nice. I mean, dude, there's things you can do and not go over the luxury tax and make your baseball team better. But then you got to be willing to say, all right, hey, I don't know, maybe Nick Abel's got to go in this deal, right? I mean, maybe I gotta do this to try to compete now. But I mean, I'm not saying Cedric Mullins isn't getting you over the hump, but it's definitely an upgrade. It's definitely a big upgrade.
Chapman
he's
might
solidify in center field.
I mean, Chapman maybe will, but then you still have glaring holes in left field. You still have a glaring hole in center field. Chapman shores me up defensively, no questions about it. I don't know how he's going to swing it, right? He had a little down here swinging it, right, per se, but I don't know what he's going to do offensively, but I know his defense is going to be there nightly, and that's Gold Glove. So, that makes you better for sure. But now I still got a hole in left. I got a hole in center. So to me, third base wasn't even where I was looking at. I just moved Didi there, right? I just moved Didi there, and I'm not telling you it's end all be all. But I moved Didi there. I let stop play, and I go get myself a Marte and a Chris Bryant. Like that's how you got to do it.
And with the Chapman thing, I would at least bank on he's going from Oakland in that ballpark to here. So you know what I'm saying? So that could help. That would help theoretically. That would help his batting numbers a little bit.
Well, I might not help his 210.
No.
So listen, I like Chapman, so I'm not poo-pooing him. I'm just saying I needed a left fielder and a center fielder here, and I came out with Matt Verling per se and a Double Herrera. I mean, that's a disgrace. That's a slap in the face. Forget third base, right? Like at least we have a prospect there, a kid that is supposed to be really good. Yeah. At least there's supposed to be a professional hitter, right? And boom, like we're supposed to have somebody good there. We're not. We have nobody that's even supposed to be anything in left and center. So how do you not address that? Like, how's that not even addressable? And you do it by a DH on a guy that can't play there, and that's where you're like, all right, we this is all you got to see this off season.
And the kicker too, like Odubel, it's like you did it first. Like that was the first deal. It wasn't like that you were like supposedly in on a whole bunch of guys. They didn't pan out, and like at the 29th hour, you were like, all right, we'll bring Odubel back for $1 million.
The first two.
One of your first signings was this guy.
It was Familia and then Herrera. It was like, oh, what one hell of a combination that is. Jesus.
Yeah, that's classy.
Yeah.
And what I'll say is I don't care like about as much about Odubel. If you're bringing somebody back like as a bat off your bench for like $1 million because you just want to be deeper per se, and he's not your starter, I got no fucking problem with it then. But you're penciling him in as a starter. Like, what are we doing? Like if he's like I told you, like a pinch hitter off the bench one night, right? A guy who plays twice a month, right? Okay, but he's my starter. He's my fucking starter.
And really, he's and just based off of, again, on the unfortunate thing is like you guys said earlier, we know Herrera sucks, but it's like he's the most sure thing because Vierling, other than 17 games, we have no idea what that is. I have no idea what he is. So it's kind of like, okay, well, by default, just based off of sample size, it's probably going to be Herrera. It's like the same situation they have at shortstop. It's like, oh, it's an open competition, and we're going to try and get Stott.
The competition.
I agree. It should be Stott. I completely agree.
No. I'm talking about the outfield. One's got to play left. One's got to play center. That's all that's on the roster
right now.
That's all they have.
Yep.
And so Schwarber wouldn't play the other. He wouldn't play one.
I mean, if you thought Reese, what was your thoughts on Reese Hoskins playing left field?
No, listen, I'm not the one who signed him. I'm not the one who signed him.
They signed him to be a DH.
He's a DH.
Okay. Maybe he plays left once a week if he's lucky.
Or first, but yes, he should not own a glove.
No gloves needed.
I hear you. Listen, I said the same thing earlier, and I had 7 people tell me, "Oh, well, we want a World Series with Pat Burrell." I'm like, "Are we Pat Burrell on this now?" Literally what I said. Like, okay, they were trying to say it doesn't matter who we have in left field. Well, I mean, it matters a little bit.
Yeah, it matters a little bit.
I mean, I saw Andrew McCutcheon play left field last year. It matters a little bit.
Yeah, it'll matter when the ball goes off his forehead out there.
Yeah,
that don't matter.
Robert's been asking this. Who do we have winning the tournament starting tomorrow? Ralphie, Frank, Greg, Tom.
My pick is gonna be
Michigan State.
No, Gonzaga.
My pick, I am going with Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta go, but I'm gonna leave you guys on Gonzaga.
That's a good one. Yep.
I got Zags or Zona.
I've got UCLA.
Ooh.
Johnny Uzang.
Johnny Juzang.
Johnny Juzang.
All right,
Oh,
boys.
no, I can't buy. I'll see you, brother.
See you,
Later.
Tommy.
Quick little Eagles thing because I know
I can't buy into Mick Cronin.
I want you guys to rank these 4. Drake Bell was saying this earlier. Maybe not. What's happening?
Sorry,
What the hell was that?
He was falling asleep.
bored with Eagles talk.
You want to talk Harden?
No.
Say
How
don't get
about we talk?
don't get bored
No,
with Eagles talk. It's only gonna
get
get. It's only gonna ramp
What
up.
could be watched
I
by
agree.
more than 20 people?
I just this is why I love this city. Is there's no off season with the Eagles. It's 24/7.
Well, you
365.
can't say this city when you're sitting in friggin' Florida right now. By the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're talking about the Eagles. Go ahead,
Why are you the way that you are? That's all I'm gonna say.
because I am.
I can't find the comment, but it was Julio Jones, it was Juju Smith-Schuster, it was
A-Rob,
Jarvis Landry, and it was
And
A-Rob.
Jarvis.
Rank these 4 based off of realistic chances of signing here.
Allen Robinson 1 for me.
Jesus. Okay.
Schuster 2. Who was? I know it was Jones and
Does-
somebody else. Who was the
Doesn't
other one?
matter.
It was Jones and it was
Jarvis.
Jarvis.
Jones, Jarvis 3, Jones 4. I think Julio Jones is complete. I think he's.
I don't touch him. I don't touch him.
Yeah, I don't touch him. I think he's done. I think he's way over the hill. I think the whole Julio Jones freak animal, freak monster thing is out the door now. At his career, at the stage of his career now, I think it's out the door.
Yeah.
If we were doing like who I wanted, I would put Julio 4. I don't want him, but as far as like realistic chances of them signing, I'm going Juju 1, Jones 2. I don't think there's any chance.
Who was
Robinson
number 1 for you?
Juju.
You think there's no shot Robinson comes here?
No, I don't think they're going to pay what he's going to get paid.
You think? Oh, you think he's getting a lot of money?
I think he's going to go to the Patriots. I
literally think everybody's waiting to see where Watson goes, and then they're
Yeah.
going to make up the decision of what team.
I
they're
think
gonna go.
Landry's either going Ravens or Falcons, and I think Robinson's going Pats. That's just me.
Interesting.
My
list is too deep because I don't want or care about the other 2. I'll go and in terms of order, I really don't care either way. It's Juju or A-Rob for me. The other 2 I want nothing to do with.
What's your beef on Landry?
It just doesn't seem to fit anywhere else he's been. I actually like the guy. I think he's a really good wide receiver, but I also don't really see a huge benefit to him in this offense with his, being more inside the slot. You know what I mean? It's just we already have a whole bunch of people over the middle. We already know he can't throw over the middle. So I don't necessarily hate him. I just don't know that he's a super duper fit here. So he that's where he kind of ranks last on mine.
Frank?
I agree. I think Julio's washed.
My 4, I think in terms of realism, I'm going to go Juju 1, Robinson 2, Landry 3, Jones 4.
Yeah, see, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's more with you guys where Robinson's way more likely than Jones. I could just see them. Oh, he's a big-bodied wide receiver playing along. 1 year $6 million, 1 year $7 million.
I wouldn't hate that though.
You know why?
1 year, like a 1 year, like less than 10 mil. That's a steal.
Yes, that I would. But you know what I won't like about that? Half of this friggin' fan base that's gonna flip out saying, "Oh my God, we got Julio Jones," and acting like it's 2017.
Oh, completely agree.
It's like this is a guy that A is never gonna stay healthy. which if he can't stay healthy outside of Philadelphia, he's not going to be able to stay healthy in Philadelphia. That's
True.
We just know that. And two, it's not Julio Jones. It's like Jim Jones. He's not Julio Jones anymore.
It's Julio Jones.
Yes. And then we'll end with this, unless you guys have anything else. What deal was the most outlandish? Von Miller, Randy Gregory, Christian Kirk.
Von Miller's. Jesus,
I'm going to go.
Like 38 years old.
I'm going to go with Christian Kirk.
But he's proven.
Who?
Von Miller's
Von Miller
proven.
all
I
that
thought you were
money?
saying Christian Kirk.
No, Ralph, I completely understand. But at least Von Miller's won something here. At least he's been to a Pro Bowl. At least he's been a starter.
Come on, Greg. 6 years. What was it? 182?
Bro, it's the NFL. These contracts don't mean shit.
Who signed him? Sorry, who signed him?
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
They're going for it. Whatever. They're going for it.
It's Christian Kirk.
It's absolutely Christian Kirk.
Have fun, Doug.
You already had Jones. I'm pretty sure they still have Marvin Jones. You have Laviska Shenault, who now you're trying to trade. Okay.
Didn't they sign
Zay? You know what's funny?
Zay Jones?
The Zay Jones is the contract. That's the bad contract.
I'd take a flyer on Laviska. Give me some Laviska Shenault in here.
I don't want another. You know what's funny? You can actually do the same things you do with Rager, but this guy, it actually works.
Right.
I don't want another trick artist. I'll take him. Like if you like,
I think he's got more wide receiver in him than trick artist. But I hear you. That's just what they used him, right? You know what I mean? Like he had Gardner throwing to him year one, and he had Sunshine throwing to him year two
behind a dead offensive line.
Right. You know what I mean? So I think you put him around something. Again, we're also saying this knowing we have Jalen Hurts throwing the football.
Yeah, Daniel, I get the whole thing of, they had money to spend. Yeah, but it doesn't mean you need to spend it like that. Like, if there's a thing called like spending it wisely. I don't know. Like, if you're forking that kind of money around, why are you not going for somebody like Allen Robinson?
The other again, like I said about the Von Miller deal, though, it's the NFL. These deals just get cut and chewed up all the time. So, you kind of only have to look at what the guarantee is on each of them to really understand and judge what the deal really is. Like if you told Von Miller could have signed a 6-year deal for cap space. There's no shot he's playing 6 years, especially not in Buffalo. You know what I mean? So you got to look at when's that kicker? When's that opt out in? You know what I mean? Same thing with Kirk's deal. Like, yes, it's egregious. I like Christian Kirk, but he couldn't even be the number one receiver in Arizona where it's all retirees.
And I don't want to be like a wet blanket at all, but I see, and listen, I get it. Perfect world, we would go after a Robinson, right? Or a Tyrann Mathieu. I think Juju Smith-Schuster is kind of like the only realistic splashy type move we're going to make left, right? Like I said this to Tom on Monday. I think the wide receiver move is Pascal. It's Zach Pascal. I don't like it at all. I think that's like a third. He's like at best a third wide receiver if you have two better ones. You already have a third wide receiver.
There's no question. It's not like a splash naturally.
No, all it does for me is like you're better than Rager, but I would argue the four of us are better than Rager.
Yeah.
So
and the four of us are probably better than the Sixers bench, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the Philly center field.
100%.
Yeah, maybe not the linebacker. Ralph, you did some good blocking at the Thanksgiving game, so maybe you're better than the linebackers.
I'll take $500K.
But I think it's going to be, him. I know Slay's trying to recruit Patrick Peterson. I'm good. If it's once again, it's not 2017 anymore.
Yeah, he's a little on the older side. Again, depending on the deal, I wouldn't. Again, like a Steven Nelson type deal, you know what I mean? 1 year, $7-8 million. All right, we could probably do worse. Mm-hmm. But the problem with like those types of deals is, I almost wonder if it gives like Howie in the front office a fake sense of security to where like they're not going to potentially draft it as well.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Like the Hassan Reddick deal. Nice deal, right? Definitely a need. Need more guys that can always need guys that can rush the passer. Is there a little bit of question?
Is he going to play linebacker for us, though, or is he going to be more in the dirt?
Sure, there's always going to be question, but then, you know what I mean? Then, all right, does that mean, all right, we got our linebacker, we're good?
Yeah, but I need a steady linebacker though, dude.
No, I hear you.
Ralphie,
That's where I kind of think like, if you sign, like a Peterson, right? Are you going to then pass up cost, Sauce Castillo in the draft, right? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Or because you signed Reddick, are you going to pass on to Kobe Dean, right? That's what I feel like with how he
Well,
runs.
maybe we only have one signing so far. Maybe you think they're going to hit on all 3 of these first round picks.
They're not making 3 picks. They're not making 3 picks. That's the first thing, Ralphie. They're not making
Jack though.
No, he went to the Steelers.
Pittsburgh.
Did he already go?
Yeah.
3-year deal, I believe.
Why do I be working all the time?
Ralphie, I don't think they're going to make 3 picks. First off,
Pittsburgh got him the 3-year deal. Yep.
Yeah,
he's going to be a beast. Book it.
Oh,
and they just left. I think they're not resigning Devin Bush either.
No,
really just fills that hole.
I think Dion Bush is available too from the Bears as well. Ralphie, I think because I saw a bunch of people, and who knows what's in Howie's head, right? It's all guessing game. Besides quarterback, right? But everyone was saying like, oh, this takes edge rusher off the board in the first 2 picks. I completely disagree. I think it takes linebacker off the board if it was even on the board to begin with, because we know they don't like taking linebackers.
Yeah, they don't like doing it anyway. So any excuse for them to go like, yeah, we did that.
This screams the first 2 picks they're going to make, or maybe they're only 2 picks, because again, I don't think they're going to make all 3 for various different reasons. Ajalo makes a ton of sense, and I don't love it because he hasn't played a ton of football, and he's kind of a project-ish type pick, but I think it falls right into their hands where, oh, he's like a Brandon Graham clone. Oh, he can be groomed by Brandon Graham. Oh, he doesn't have to rush the passer as much because you have Hassan Reddick, to where he's like your long-term big potential type guy, right?
Why do you keep talking this into existence? Just stop right now.
Because Howie is who he is, and I'm bracing myself for pain. That's what you know what I'm saying?
No, you're absolutely right, and that's exactly why I don't want him. I don't think it has nothing to do with that he can't be good.
I would rather have Jermaine Johnson or Karlaftis, and I'm not even a Purdue guy. I'm not even
right,
but I'm good. Like those guys are both 3-year guys. And the other one I think is going to be the best corner on the board. Please, I'm telling you this right now, and it's not because of Washington. No McDuffie. And it's not because his name sucks. His name really, really, really sucks. But it's not because of that. They're talking about how he's not the fastest guy. He's not the strongest guy. He's not the most athletic guy. But he makes up for it with effort. Oh, and he's 5'9".
There you go.
Get it out. Get it out. Get it out. Andrew Booth, fine. Kerr Elam, fine. Stingley, who I don't know if he's ever going to stay healthy, fine. No McDuffie. No more. We can't do this again. We can't. That's like friggin' nightmare. I'd rather take the center. Who's the center from Iowa?
Oh,
I keep calling him Eichenberg. It's not Eichenberg.
Lindenbaum.
Lindenberg.
Yeah.
Limburger.
Whatever his friggin' name is. I'd rather have him, and I don't want O-line in the first round.
No O-line for me. Especially when, Jason Kelsey's coming back, and, we already have a very talented O-line as is with Mailata and Dickerson. I mean, I don't want another O-line.
If he's there, I might take him. I still might take him.
Linderbaum?
Yeah. If he's there at like 19, I might take him.
Oh, if he's there at 19, you take him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he should not be there.
We already have 5 centers on the roster,
and that's the whole reason why you drafted Dickerson too.
But,
it was you can play every position.
But Greg, we win in the trenches though.
No, I completely understand. Okay. But you already have Jason Kelsey's replacement on there 5 different times.
Well, and can we just?
You know what I mean?
Don't we have like the offensive line whisperer? You know what that tells me?
Yeah.
Take some guy in the 4th round. You took a freaking rugby guy with a ukulele, and he's a monster.
The dude's a beast, and I would never. It's not the sexy pick, but you're right. We know it's Howie. We know it's the Eagles. We know it's someone they look for, right? So it wouldn't shock me. You look at the roster though. You have you have 3 different guys who legit have played center in the NFL already on your roster. Like, you don't need another one.
Yes.
But
It's how we were talking about.
it's Howie. You know, you can never have enough cornerstones and maulers, right? We've realized that. But I hope Reddick doesn't change the edge rusher, because he, you know, who knows if he's going to be an edge rusher, right? You know what I mean? Like hand in the dirt edge rusher, right? That's the
the Greg and I's favorite website, Tankathon. The 3 picks they have us taking: Devin Lloyd 15.
Love it.
I'd be shocked, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, love it. I agree with you. Love it. Jermaine Johnson, edge, Florida State. Could see that, and also I like that.
Yeah.
We all agree there.
Yeah.
Because you're getting the more experienced edge. That's not a Jabo. Who they have a Jabo going 8th, so fine, that's great. So you're basically picking between him and Karlaftis, and they have Greg's favorite player of all time, and that's Jordan Davis, 26.
With the Eagles?
Yes.
He's 26 years old.
Yep.
Seasoned.
Oh, dude, how great would that be?
Getting Jordan
if he came to the Eagles.
Oh.
Draft him and then get rid of Fletcher Cox June 1st.
Dude, did you see his 40?
Did I see it? I had it on my refrigerator.
He ran a 4.840.
That's insane, dude.
Their entire defensive line ran a sub 540.
All of my golfing people. Go ahead,
Rafi. Isn't that crazy to think, dude?
Dude, I'd run like a 10-second 40 right now.
That's insane, dude.
All of my golfing people know, like, I think that the combine is like hideous. Like, everyone who flips out about it. I had more texts from that group chat about Jordan Davis than I'd ever had in my entire life. I'm like, who died? What happened? Well, like, why is this chat blowing up? Oh, Jordan Davis.
The funniest thing is when they did the simulcast with Jameis Winston and Baker Mayfield.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Oh, they did the NFL Network did the simulcast of Jameis Winston, Baker Mayfield, and Jordan Davis.
By the way, little quarterback carousel prediction. What do you think?
Joseph,
Baker's
why are you
going?
bringing up bad times, Joseph?
Well, I think that was more for Ralphie.
Joseph's been sour this whole time, this whole day. Joseph, come on, we gotta turn you around. Now you're bringing up Patrick Queen. Come on, Joseph, we're trying to get out of here.
Yep. Kenneth Murray's pretty good, huh? Same draft class.
Yeah. Quick little.
Yeah, Micah Parsons pretty good.
Yeah. No, yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Ahmad Gardner, pretty good.
Yeah. The ones that got away. When do we predictions? Because I would hope by the next time we're on the air, all this is done. I've had enough with the Deshaun Watson stuff. What team will Deshaun Watson be on?
Eagles.
I'm gonna say. Do you say Eagles? Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna say.
He's still there. He's still available.
I'm gonna say Saints. It's
such a dumb move. That's not a shot at you. I don't know why he would go there.
I'm not going to say the Eagles, but I'll also say the other team that's all in on him. I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers.
That's where I'm going.
That makes no sense.
Panthers?
No, I'm not shaking my head to you guys. I'm shaking my head to why would the Panthers do that?
Because they don't have a quarterback. Because they have guys
they
named
don't
Cam
have the
Newton
head
and Sam
coach either. Like think about this.
But here's the thing, Greg. They're not going to find that out until they have a quarterback. They're not going to find that out.
Listen, I like Matt Rule. He's not an NFL head coach.
No, he's a fraud. He got rid of the LSU guy. Joe Brady. Couldn't wait to throw him out of town.
Like, I don't know.
Who will be the starting quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts?
Baker Mayfield.
Yep. Thank you.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, they can't draft one either.
Hurts.
Hi, we have our pick.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was looking at the first round. I'm like,
they can draft, just not in the first round.
They can.
Who's your Ellenberger? I'm gonna go.
Yeah, Ellinger. Yeah, Sam Ellinger.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ!
That's
Did
not my pick, by the way.
Did Cleveland tell Baker that they're done with him?
No, Baker searches social media like all of us, and he's like, "Oh, they're going after Deshaun Watson. Oh, I'm upset. I'm leaving."
Yeah, all right, go Baker.
Yeah, it's Baker to the Colts.
How do you turn that deal down from the Houston? Like, you're not getting better. You're not getting a better deal unless you just get more picks.
I think they turned it down because at the time,
Like, I listen. I'm not saying Baker's an upgrade, right? But who cares? You're getting Kareem Hunt 2 firsts.
well, I think at the time they turned it down because Deshaun Watson. Again, at the time, because
Yeah.
that's his whole thing's pissing me off. He's like the Tom Brady like bachelor tour. It's like, dude, you're Deshaun Watson. You haven't played in a year. You played for 2 years. You were pretty good. You're very good, but stop. Like,
Yeah.
stop.
No, I agree with you.
Like, it's really pissing me off. Like, it's a friggin' sweepstakes. Enough. Like, if the quarterback market wasn't so friggin' bad, you wouldn't be a story. But regardless, I think it was turned down because he didn't want to go to Cleveland at the time.
Fair.
I think it's on the table now, and now it's all the deals have been in place. It's just a matter of where he wants to go. But really, he's dumb because again, I know Philadelphia's not perfect. I know Howie Roseman's whatever. Who the hell says they want to go to Cleveland? I get it. They have weapons. They have good pieces, but organizationally, stop. The Saints, you decide to go to the Saints after Sean Payton leaves. And Alvin Kamara, I don't know what his deal is. Michael Thomas hasn't played in 2 years.
Yep.
And then to your point, Greg, well, I think the Panthers make sense because they have weapons. Who's their head coach? That organization,
but the thing is McCaffrey going to be part of the deal going back to the Texans? That's the biggest question with Carolina.
The answer is yes. And what I do if I'm Carolina, I still have Hubbard, and immediately I then sign Melvin Gordon. If I'm them, I go Deshaun Watson, Hubbard, and then I sign Melvin Gordon.
Well, supposedly today he's supposed to make his decision today.
Yeah.
Or in the afternoon is what the reports are saying, that he's going to make his decision and then the trade's going to go down. I think everybody that hasn't signed yet is just waiting for this to go down, and then they'll make a decision.
Oh, there's no question about it. You're absolutely right.
And then finally, who will be the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns? Because it's going to be somebody new, regardless. Because Baker, by all reports, even if they don't get Deshaun Watson, Baker will not be back.
Jimmy G.
100%. Completely agree with you. I'm not joking. I think he actually works very well there because he doesn't have to do much.
I can see Jimmy G either there or Indy.
Yeah, I read a thing from Field Yates. They said the Jimmy Garoppolo market is as follows: the Colts and the Colts.
Yeah, no, I mean Jimmy is that guy, right? We just saw him for 2 years, get 3 years, get San Francisco to the playoffs.
Yep.
Of just don't lose me games.
Yep. Ralph and Frank, you agree with that?
Drake, wow.
I agree with that.
Watson to Atlanta?
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's interesting.
It's probably the team that makes the second most sense.
Definitely could absolutely see it. I know Sweeps. Is willing to do some things to get him to Miami.
Nah, they're all 2-up down there.
Oh, he knows.
They're all 2-up down there. Anything else, fam?
No,
we stay on for another couple hours, and we might have Deshaun Watson's decision by then. Even though because I heard that for 2 weeks. He probably
is that like the LeBron decision?
He's treating it like that. No, you know what's funny? That's what he's treating it like. It's like, dude, stop. We don't even know if you're going to be able to play. Like, do we know if he's going to be able to play for the first 6 games?
Yeah, there'll be something. No, you're right, and you're right. That's kind of the kick in the nuts to like the league too. Is like you're carrying on about this after like, listen, legally you're good, right? Legally everything. Well, I'm not saying you're good, but whatever happened to the legal system happened.
Yeah,
do this quietly. Just make the decision and move on.
He's theoretically not holding just 4 teams hostage. He's holding 6 because so you have the 4 teams. The Eagles are doing their due diligence. They're watching, right? So that has their attention. And the 49ers are watching. And who knows? There might be the Seahawks, I'm sure, are laying in the weeds.
Seahawks they got some more ammunition.
Yeah, and they don't have a quarterback right now. It's Geno Smith. So you know what I'm saying? There's teams. That's a team that makes sense for Baker also, by the way. So you're holding all these organizations hostage to just at the end of the day, probably not going to be able to play for the first 6.
Yep.
And also you're one bad knee away from probably never playing again because you already have 2 bad knee injuries.
I'll take
So-
the chance though.
Oh, so why? Because he can actually throw the football. But that's beside.
By the way, it's and I'll end on this. I'm done.
Yeah, someone.
To those writers or fans that don't think that he's an upgrade over Jalen Hurts,
Stop watching football. Stop
I'm
watching.
going to use a line from good old Tom. Punch yourself in the dick and stop watching football. Like, if you don't want to deal with the off-the-field stuff, if you don't want him because of what just transpired, understand. But to sit there and try and spin that he's not an upgrade over Jalen Hurts, I got nothing for you.
Ralphie,
As Tommy likes to say, I got some beachfront property in Idaho for you.
Ralphie, read that comment and then we'll get out of here.
Pete Carroll says they're 100% in on Drew Lock as QB1.
Giddy up.
3 games, baby. 3 wins. 3 wins.
Let go.
Fam, every Wednesday we're brought to you by BetUS. They are the leading online sportsbook who has been in the market for over 25 years. You can bet anywhere, and we literally mean anywhere, in the United States on everything. You can use the link, which is pinned right in the YouTube description. It's pinned right in the YouTube comments, right in the chat, over on Facebook, wherever you're watching us. Go over, hit the link. You get 125% off on sign-up bonus. It's a big discount. Also, you're helping us out too, which we appreciate. And also, again, if you're not already subscribed, if you're not already liking, following all the social media pages, do that. We greatly appreciate it. Fam, happy March.
March
It's
Madness
here.
kicks off in a couple hours, baby.
Yep.
Yep. 12:10 can't get here any faster, baby.
Excitement's
I
here.
got my TV, I got my one monitor, the other monitor. We're all ready to go over here,
It's
man.
supposed to be pouring down rain too, so right in front of
First
your TV.
Thursday. I'm
May
working
all
in
your
a long
brackets
time.
be busted.
Yeah,
It
excitement's here.
feels so great to have this back, right?
Oh,
It's amazing,
God.
man.
The excitement's
I'm
here.
work-
All it can do is go down.
Yep.
And the only reason I'm working tomorrow is just because I'm working from home anyway. So what the
Yep.
hell's the difference? So I got to mute the TV and throw in a couple meetings every once in a while. Hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Fam, for Ryan Brodo, for Frank Vespi, for Ralph Delavecchio, for Greg Milokovic, for Tom Arnone, for Noah Eaton, who was not on tonight, and for Nate Moss, who was not on tonight. Stay tuned tomorrow. Frank, you want to give us the lineup of shows for tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have Pro Fan Talk, and we have an NFL free agency edition of Birds of a Feather. So Pro Fan Talk at 7, Birds of a Feather at 8:30. I believe that they will be talking NFL free agency and all the updates so far.
Probably a safe bet. Fam, we appreciate you. Happy bracket busting.
Matt Verling for the win, baby.
Boom.